Let's talk about Kichipamu on this Monday, which is definitely what today is. Kichipamu got second place with Zangief at PPL, which is a major premier event in Street Fighter V. You know, top 8 was like, well, we'll see who he beat. I mean, just, you know, so you know, we'll go through the little list here. He got second place, beating Tokido, NL, Wei Li, Mago, and then finally losing to Hot Dog 29. So that is quite a list of players, and it's, you know, Akuma, Laura, Karin, and Dictator, which is a, you know, different list of characters as well. He used Zangief the whole way. Only character he uses. Even when Zangief was not actually on the character select screen back in Season 3. Kichipamu played Zangief. I never saw him play in major tournaments with any other character than Zangief. And he was still traveling and still taking it seriously and, like, still putting in the time with Zangief. So, I mean, he's a Zangief loyalist. And I thought that was a bad idea in Season 3. You know, honestly, I still think it's not a great idea in Season 4. So you see Itazan, like, playing a lot of Abigail, for example. But Itazan got 17th at this tournament, whereas Kichipamu got 2nd place, and at EVO, he got 7th place. He got top 8 at EVO out of however many thousands of people were there. You know, obviously the most difficult tournament of the year. And this tournament was very hard, too. I just mentioned players who he had to make it through, and he did. He 3-0'd Tokido, no less. I mean, he 3-0'd some of these people. NL as well. How? How? That's the question. How did he do that? I don't think that Gief is particularly strong. No, I don't think that he's bad. I don't think Gief is like a low-tier character. I wouldn't say he used to be bottom 5. I thought he was the worst character in Season 3. I thought he was bottom 5 before that, in Season 1. I don't think that now. I would say he's mid, low mid, something like that. Like, improved, certainly, from last season, but not. Yeah. When Season 4 first started, some players were like, he's top 5, and that's just obviously not right. It was obviously always not right. But now, I think is very clearly not right. So how? How did he do that? What? Does he have some tech? Is there, like, new techniques, new technology, new option selects? What is it? Is it that? Or is it that he just played well? I mean, what happened? Thanks for the sub. Much obliged. All into space. Well, I mean, let's just watch it, right? I just want to check it out and see what happened. And, you know, find it out. I mean, I've watched it already once. And that was helpful in trying to, like, see what it was. I had already known the results. I didn't watch it live. I watched the VOD later. So I'd already known that he would get into 2nd place. But I was still like, what are you doing? How's this working?
We got our internet cut here. As our sponsor walks over.
Let me know if the sound isn't at an appropriate level. I hope so. Ah, Tokido.
Right now, both players just waiting. They have no say in the matter.
So it's Zangief versus Akuma. I have always felt that this is an even-ish matchup, even when Zangief was not very good. I just feel that in this game, Gief can count. He has good counterplay to a lot of what Akuma does. You know, Akuma's approaches are a little scarier due to V-skill and lariat than for many other characters.
He's a walrus. He is a walrus.
And Zangief's footsies just, I feel like, keep up okay with Akuma's. So I've always felt like it's pretty even. But after this, Kichipamu said that he thinks it's a win for Zangief. So how's that possible?
Yeah, that stage is interesting too. It's almost like a training mode stage, you know? Because you can use the floor here is kind of, they have the little marks so you can
That's
space out your
okay. That's the button. This is the button. This is the savior button. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging.
The floor here is kind of, they have the little marks.
This is the button.
Spaced out your normal really well.
Standing strong is a really good tool. It's I'm looking it up. I think it's 10 or 11 frames. It's not super fast, but you know, fast enough for what it is. Its hitbox is very good. It's a very good hitbox. You know, it's like, I mean, kind of like how Street Fighter 4 Zangief Stand Strong was, where it was also really, really good. Like, they've kind of given that back to him. So the hitbox on it's really good. It's got great range. Like, it hits from far. And while it's not as fast as many other Strongs, it's still good. Let's see. I think it's 10 or 11. Oh, I was thinking of something else entirely. It's 7 frames. My bad. My bad. I'm thinking of medium kick. Yeah. So they slowed down medium kicks. Yeah. Okay, so no, it's 7 frames. Anyway, so 7-frame button that has this range and this great hitbox, and just like watch how he uses it. Again, I'm trying to see like whether there's, what tech is he doing? Like what's happening?
Well, using the flex early on, getting through the fireball and got to punish it.
Well, already in the first like 8 seconds of the match, we've seen stand medium punch, which is great. He's already whiff punished a crouching medium kick with it. We've seen V skill. Right, it was just a bit ago. V skill into that. We've seen stand fierce, crouching jab, and so like literally in the first 10 seconds, we have seen Gief's most important footsie's tools immediately. You know, there's no. It's not. I don't know. What I want to say is that it's not like there's something new, it's just the usage of the tools. So far, we're 10 seconds in, right? I don't know. But that's definitely how it looks. Standing Fierce is a great button, but it's a risk. It's a risk. And that is because it has a lot of recovery time. Although it is plus on hit, plus 2 on hit, it is safe on block, it's only -3. And if you charge it, it's actually plus on block. Although that's all great, and the range is great, right? The whiff recovery is long. It's long. So if you whiff it, it has 13 frames startup, 4 active, 23 on recovery. So it's, what, 26? So it's 30 frames of total time. And that is easy to react to. If it whiffs, easy to react to. You know, for almost anybody. So you can't whiff it. You have to make sure it doesn't whiff. And it also has the problem of the armor being beaten by things that hit it lower. It only armors through things that are like belt and above, basically. So it has these 2 downsides, but as long as you're not whiffing it, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's gonna be the name of this game right now.
It's super easy to whiff punish, right? But just see how often this guy lets it whiff. Okay, now we're seeing another tool, which is forward fierce. Forward fierce has an excellent hitbox. It is I mean, the hurt box on it is kind of reduced, right? Like if you picture Gief from the side, he like reduces himself in terms of the hitbox, and in terms of the hurt box, and the hitbox, the active hitting part, is a lot farther than you would think it is, and it's kind of got a vacuum effect too, so you can get a lot of combos off of it, even from range. It's useful. However, it doesn't have that much range, and also, however, it's pretty whiff punishable. I mean, it's not as bad as Stand Fierce for sure, but it is, you know, if you're whiff punishing crouching medium kick from Akuma, like we just saw Kichipamu do, like you can definitely whiff punish forward fierce from Gief. So it's something to not, don't whiff that one very often either. So what's it useful for? It's useful if you think the opponent's going to dash into you, okay?
Good, very nice awareness from Kichipamu.
Do you see how right he was? He didn't have the range right, but he knew that Akuma wanted to dash. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be how it goes.
Definitely very, very reactionary. Tokido's the one in control. This whole set, walking into the stand fierce. Oh my god.
Whiff punishing fierces.
Oh my
This is what I mean by some of Akuma's stuff just gets blown up by Lariat and Gief's anti-airs and V-skill and stuff.
Here, but he got him very, very low. Red fireball activation, yeah.
So there, Akuma was hoping that Gief would do a Lariat through the fireball, but you know, Kichipamu's no dummy. And there it is. By the way, Stand Strong is +2 on block, yes.
Only 1 round.
Good button. Very good button.
That first round looking very, very comfortable.
Confirmed. Off the medium top 2. Woo!
Oh, dude, Lariat is... Although Lariat is good, it is definitely susceptible to quite a few things. It's not a perfect anti-air. It has a big... There's a big area where it just dies. It just loses to a lot of things. And this is definitely a jump in that it loses too often. Jump fierce from Akuma. You know, things like Linkali jump fierce, any cross-ups, all that sort of stuff will just blow it up. You can demon flip grab it too, yeah. Anyway, let's go back a little bit.
Very, very comfortable.
I'm just trying to like set the stage, and then we'll hopefully watch it without quite as many interruptions. Yeah.
Oh.
If you hit Lariat, so picture Geef, right? He's like here. If you hit him anywhere here, in like the back of his head to up to above, or certainly anything lower than that, even from the front, it definitely loses. It definitely loses.
Okay.
Crush counter walk up.
Anyway.
Woo! Oh, that was correct read, but okay.
Crush counter walk up gets the EXSPD, so he gets the setup after this.
Yeah, she's plus on that.
Wow, he woke up with jab, huh?
Not afraid at all, right? Wake up jab against Zangief. Throw loops. Good thing they took it out of the game. It's not here anymore, guys. Don't worry.
God.
That was fake news. That was not
The only thing that Zangief can really do is a jump cancel. Oh wow, knocks right out of
Poor Z, man. I hope he buys the game at some point.
Some sort. Get out of those throws.
Yeah, went for Hail Mary right there, SPD, but just Tokido, that walk speed on Akuma, very, very nice.
EX pile driver is throw invincible, but not hit invincible.
Already out of range. A game or round 2 is all Tokido, and again, that's how it starts. Just one confirm. Starts hitting the Oki.
Yeah, waited for the armor to recover and punish him.
Wow, he did jump forward. So.
Oh my God, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna break the gun. Look at the stun on this. Look at the stun.
Oof. Wow, what a conversion as well.
Likes that one, about 60%.
So part of what I want to look at too is not just his button choices, but also how often he jumps and where he moves and that kind of thing. When does he backdash or forward dash? When does he jump? When does he neutral jump? Does he even do those things? Is he just only on the ground? Right? So this is just him on the ground. There were a couple situations there where Tokido, it seemed to me as an outside viewer looking in, that Tokido felt like Kichipamu would not press a button anymore. So Kichipamu like caught a dash a couple times with stand fierce. He got a crush one of those times. He called out a dash with forward fierce, although he was like slightly off in the range, but he called that out anyway. So Tokido is like trying to enforce his forward movement, and Kichipamu is doing a great job of not letting that happen.
Been on point, right? He confirms I've been on point.
Oh,
catch medium kick, the
oh my God.
Dang, alright. But you see what I mean? Like, Tokido's playing this very offensively.
Yeah, not even gonna spend meter. He's got such a light lead. Just gonna save bar for the
but you should, I mean, once you knock down Zangief, you definitely should pressure him. He is not as free as good in the past, as in the past. This is something, too, that a lot of people I now see are doing with Zangief. Okay, that makes sense. This use of V-Trigger 1 where you don't just spend it all. So let's see what he got out of V-Trigger 1 here, right? So he activates on Stand Strong. It's a counter hit, which does actually, you can actually combo counter hit Stand Strong into V-Trigger spin, full hold it. Now, there's a range issue with that, and this is kind of like on the margin of where it might not have comboed. Like that was maybe a little bit too far away. So imagine if he had done the full, like, if it had comboed, say. Full, stand strong, counter hit, V-Trigger 1, full spin, juggle, EX pile driver. That's like 30%, 35%, probably, maybe on Akuma, I don't know. Was it 350? I would guess. I don't know offhand, but it's something like probably 350-ish damage. Instead, Kichipamu goes for the mix-up here. So he goes for crouching strong, hoping to catch a button or a jump, which is, he did. So he has now dealt from this situation. He has done crouching strong, connects, right? Gives you good lariat knockdown. He goes for pile driver. You can consider this all sort of having it been built off of that stand strong into activation. But that's it. So he got, I would say, about the same amount of damage. Just to guesstimate here. So his life bar at the end of it is just, it's between the O and the Z in Tokido's name there. What was it before?
Not even gonna spend meter. He's got such a life lead. Just gonna save bar for the next round. Don't need to go for the EX red. Okay.
Okay, well, I was actually full. All right. Okay, so he I guess did get more damage than you would. Yes, definitely. Okay, cool. Oh, this is something that is not like a new idea. I mean, in season 1, like every Geef was like, oh, dude, he has a V trigger that sucks people in. Here come the mix-ups, and then we were like, oh, V trigger 1 level 1 spin is -6 on block. We're getting punished for it. And our like expected damage, even if we do get the mix-ups, is on average probably not as much as just doing the combo. So just do the combo. Just consider it like a way to combo from afar. It's not actually a mix-up. It's not new. Like this was literally, we were all like, week 1, let's do the things. And then as we were playing, I feel like we all were just like, this is not worth it. Let's just do the combo. And EX pile driver after in the air means we're plus on block, right? I'm sorry, plus on hit after that setup right there. So you get another mix-up after it as well. Just take that. That's fine. I've noticed more Zangief's doing this again. So like when I watch Kichipamu, he's doing it. I have seen Mike Too Strong doing it quite a bit. I've seen Itazan do it sometimes. I feel like he doesn't do it quite as often. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe something to keep in mind.
Diminishing. That was Kichipamu's big chance. Now, V-trigger is gone. Oh! Hold on.
Dang.
Oh my god!
Oh.
The reset!
Got him!
Wait, he's alive!
God, oh
Wow.
my god! Tokido had the dirtiest look on his face right there.
I mean, it's so sick. It's so cool. And as the Geef, when you land that kind of stuff, you just feel like the genius, the all-time genius.
Oh wow. Now, V-trigger is gone.
That said, if he does this and he just does EX pile driver and then he does one more pile driver or whatever, one more dash up, crouching, short crouching, jab lariat, like he also wins, right? So rather than doing this, which is a reset, then this, which doesn't kill, he then also needs to make an extra mix-up. So this is more work, actually, than if it had just been crush counter, EX, pile driver, pressure. Because that pressure by itself would have been for the win. It could have been one less decision made.
Oh, he got on the other side. But another crush count on Stan Fierce.
Okay,
Yeah,
Lariat.
stun is coming.
Oh my god!
Also, Tokido, I mean, maybe it's because of Kichipamu, but Tokido is super impatient, don't you think?
Gonna bury this man into the bathhouse.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Tokido do this many EX uppercuts. Not that there's like a ton. I think I've seen 2, but he doesn't usually do that. I wonder if there's like a history here between these two players that Tokido knows, and that in the past, I wonder if he's been able to land a lot of those on Kichipamu. You know, like the way that Tokido's playing is not what I would expect out of Tokido, unless he had specifically done the homework and thought that this versus this player was like the way to go. I don't know.
Tokido, though, this is the best Akuma in the world, one of the best 3-5 players in the world. He's only down 2 games.
The bravery plus on the windup.
Only down 2 games, he can still do this, but Kichipamu needs one more to stay alive.
Okay. That's the first Crouching Fierce crush counter. As many buttons as Kichipamu has pressed. Wow, no way. Thanks for the link. That is very interesting. So what this link that Zekaya SD puts in the chat, what it says is that Tokido has never beaten Kichipamu in tournament. 2 and 3 for Tokido at Rage 2017, 1 and 2 at Evo Japan 2019, and 0 and 3 at PPL 2019. Wow. That's incredible. I wonder if there's anybody else in the world that Tokido is 0 and 3 against. I wonder. Eita as well? Wow, that's okay. Thanks for the info. That's very interesting. All right, I'm not actually watching here. Let's see what's going on.
This is Tokido, though. This is the best Akuma in the world, one of the best 3-5 players in the world. He's only down 2 games.
The bravery.
Again, he's never whiffed that fierce the entire time.
One more to stay alive.
But that's good. Crouching Fierce finally. Back dash. What a gutsy man. When you... Well, anyway. Ah, there was a... So, I feel like this is the first Stand Fierce that we've seen Akuma do that was not whiff punished by Stand Strong. Right? Yeah. I mean, you can't be 100%. Yeah, this... So, Lariat... I don't love it in neutral. There's a range where you can Lariat a fireball on reaction. It's a tight reaction. It is, but it's doable. However, the benefit that you get from that is a knockdown, but not pressure. You can't, unless you have the corner already, you cannot pressure after that Lariat. You've knocked the opponent down, you dealt some damage, that's good, but you haven't created a situation for yourself. And if you have that range wrong, or if you have the reaction too late, then you get just blown up, right? Here's the downside. It's super easy to walk in and punish. Super easy. This is not like Street Fighter 4 Lariat, where it continued to have a hitbox that was like dangerous for a while. Not like that at all. In fact, Tokido probably could have just done Jump Fierce into something even. Like this was... It's really a bummer. An additional factor, yeah, as Z's Nuts says, is that there are two Lariats, actually. There's Lariat if you're holding forward, and there's Lariat if you're not holding forward. Lariat if you're holding forward has more range. I don't know why. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. So if you are walking around and you're like defaulting to, oh, need to block, and you're holding back, or even tapping back, and during that time you press Lariat, your Lariat won't go anywhere. It won't do anything. You see what I mean? Like it just... So... hard to tell if he... I feel like this was a backwards Lariat, but it's kind of hard to tell. That was on the margin even for a forward Lariat. Okay, is that the first V reversal we've seen? Maybe we've seen one, but it's not something that we've commonly seen. What was he worried about here? The setup. Okay. I mean the activation.
Oh, he took away all that green light. That's big.
Oh, he didn't confirm that. Wow, very interesting. Okay, so this was a crouching medium kick. It's like unreasonable to ask that somebody be 100% at hit confirming a single crouching medium kick. That's, you know, we're humans. Tokido's a human. But boy, it would have been nice if that had been a hit confirm for him, right? That would have been pretty useful. He's got trigger. It's a lot of damage after that crouching medium kick. He gets a knockdown pressure after that. Instead,
oh my God,
that happens and he dies.
What's going on with this man?
I don't know. Match point right now.
This is a bad matchup for Zangief, right?
Match point right now. Kichipamu.
This is something I didn't read in the notes.
Something happened after Evo.
Oh boy, there you go. Stand short. You know what's funny is that I don't think he did that the first two games. I don't think I saw a stand short, but it's good. It's good. It's, again, you don't get that much out of a Lariat knockdown unless it's right up close. But you know, hey, that's fine. You do some damage. You get a knockdown. You can walk forward a little bit, and it's just connected to a stand short. There's not like a big risk to it. Again, you see the problem with just neutral Lariat.
Oh my God, gosh.
Ding, ding. Oh, here's another thing he did a lot. Okay, so let me show you here. So stand fierce, right? So charge stand fierce, which is plus on block. Now, not so plus that you get another free fierce. So this is definitely a stolen turn right here, right? After counter hit, well, crush counter, stand fierce, you don't get dash up pile driver. You only get that if you held crouching fierce in the first place. So if you charge stand fierce, then you get a free dash pile driver. But if you do not charge, no, you do not. So what you can do is like a slight step forward into EX pile driver. That mostly works. Obviously there's a range where like the maximum of stand fierce, so that doesn't work. But that will mostly work. You can also do things like walk forward a little bit, stand short, like Lariat. Like there's like you can just walk forward stand roundhouse, for example. Not that much damage, not a knockdown, of course. So what he's doing is dash forward into crouching strong. That's free in terms of the pressure. It's not a combo. But you do get guaranteed pressure after that. So if you'd like to give up the guaranteed damage of like EX pile driver or stand roundhouse or sweep, whatever, then you can do this. Now again, like with the end of the previous game or whatever round it was that I was talking about, there's a guaranteed damage you could take and then hope to build on that. Or you can sort of forego that in favor of a mix-up. And it seems to me like at every opportunity, at least in this match, Kichipamu has the idea to go for the mix-up. He went for the V-trigger activation, not into combo, but into mix-up. Again, was it going to combo? It was hard to tell. It was like right at the margin of where the stand strong counter hit would combo into spin. You know, maybe he just didn't want to take that risk. But he certainly did go for the mix-up in any case. Then he also did that after the, I think it was crush counter fierce, and he did forward fierce, crouching jab, then dash forward air EX pile driver, right, as the reset. Rather than just doing crush counter fierce EX pile driver. So each time he's gone for more of a mix-up than for like the traditional knockdown.
Tries to jump out of it. Oh my god, he's just chasing down. Close the stun now.
Yeah, EXTP will be the round.
Oh, he was worrying about
oh my gosh,
TP. You know, that's actually the first time I think that Stand Fierce has been hit by a crouching medium kick, which is again very impressive. He jumped. In literally game 3, round 2. Super deep into the set. Super deep. He finally does it. Interesting. I mean, of course, he's been getting the life lead without doing that at all, but I'm cool with the idea of taking that risk. Like, it's pretty impressive for Tokido to still have that in mind, that could still happen, because it hasn't been an issue for the entirety of the set so far. But, you know, credit to Tokido, who's still ready.
Oh, but it did not even trade for...
Trade definitely worked out Kichipamu's favor right there.
He's got so much more life.
There it is.
Oh my god.
There it is.
He just donutted Tokido.
With the fist pump.
Man, he blew him up, huh?
What is in that loop?
Yeah, he could afford to as well, it's true.
Like, all you can do is, like,
But he blew him up. Dude.
On the Amazon wish
I mean, to go back to this,
the crowd loves that. They love Kichipamu.
What is the viscosity of that
Tokido's never beaten Kichipamu in tournament. And what's funny about this too is that you look at the results here, and assuming this is the full list, it was Kichipamu winning 3-2 at Rage, which is very close. Then at EVO Japan 2019, Kichipamu won 2-1, which is, you know, it's first to 2 rather than first to 3, but close. And this time it was a smoking. It was a 3-0. It's like he has super figured it out, and Tokido has not. I mean, think back to what Kichipamu did. You know, okay, so to try to encapsulate it, I guess I would say have great footsies and reactions. Easy, okay, David. I mean, his stand strongs whiff punished so many things. He never whiffed stand fierce. He only was hit out of it once by a crouching medium kick. One time in that whole set. So stand fierces were just immaculate. He had crouching jabs a couple of times to shut things down. He stands short whiff punish against the crouching medium kick. We saw that twice. He never jumped until the very end. That's not true. There was one moment in the corner. I wonder if I can find it. It might have been in game 1. I just watched it. It wasn't that early for sure. Oh, this is smoking. Okay, yeah, I think it was here.
Oh my god!
That was fake news. That was not
the only thing that Zangief can really do is...
Maybe not. Anyway, whatever. We'll just watch it while I talk. He jumped forward 2 times, I believe. I think he jumped from the corner, but we'll see here. And it was only once in the maybe first game, and then once at the very, very end. And he went for mix-ups rather than guaranteed damage. He went for the mix-ups. Here it is, right there. There it was. And what he knows, you know, to watch the situation back here. He's put into the corner. Right. Put into the corner. He definitely takes a risk on this jump. we all want to jump out of the corner because that sounds easy. That's just like an easy way. I mean, it's the same reason you always jump, right? Oh, I don't want to play footsies. I want to get in there, and he'll never expect it. This is that. But he was right about Tokido not expecting it. Tokido did not anti-air. He just blocked. What I love, though, is that Kichipamu knows that when you do something like jump out of the corner, the opponent then expects you to continue that pressure, right? It's that decision to jump out of the corner is like quite an aggressive one. And if you're going to be aggressive enough to do the jump out of the corner, why not aggressive enough to just keep pressing buttons? Press, 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 press. Why not do that? That's what you expect as the defender here. So Kichipamu does jump fierce, crouching jab, which is a tight block string. And then as soon as there's a gap, he just gives it to Tokido to hang himself. So he has a great understanding of what people are likely to do in a situation, which is something you need for every character, of course. But for a character like Zangief, you even need that more. And he has that. And yeah, he went for mix-ups, more than guaranteed damage, and he had perfect footsies timing. Yeah, he played this very, very well. Cool.
Still in losers finals.
This is now the second match that he played in top 8. This is versus Wei Li, who plays Laura. This is not a good matchup for Laura. So while I think that the Akuma Zangief matchup is pretty even, you know, Kichipamu said that he thinks that Zangief wins it, and dude, I mean, he blew up Tokido, the best Akuma in the world, and he also blew up NL. We're not gonna watch that because I didn't want to watch both Akumas, but he blew up both of those guys. So maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. But Laura definitely loses to Zangief. Laura definitely loses to Zangief. So this is a matchup where, you know, it's a blow up. Did Wei Li beat Itazan, really? That'd be sick if so. I would say that I don't think it's a... While I think Zangief wins, it's not like it's not doable for Laura, but it's an uphill battle, I feel. Yeah, you think Zangief wins over Akuma as well?
Alright, so of course we got this match.
Alright, folks. So why do I say Zangief wins this? Well, you know, we saw how well Kichipamu whiff punished versus Akuma. You can do that versus Laura as well. So Laura's way to get started is like, we just saw some of it. Stand short, can't really whiff punish that, but stand short, you know, stand medium kick, crouching medium kick, fierce, thunderclap, and then walk in, whatever, stuff like that. Zangief has good answers to all that stuff. It's really hard to thunderclap against Zangief, just due to lariat, right? There's this huge range where Zangief can walk in and lariat on reaction. And from farther away, it's hard to make thunderclap count unless you're like in trigger or something. So that's just hard to get going. Zangief can whiff punish, he can anti-air. Now, if she pressures him well, like with everybody else, right? If Laura knocks anybody down, everybody's in trouble, right? Nobody wants to be in that situation. So I feel like that's where her saving grace is. She can pressure. But even in those cases, Zangief has solutions, right? He has unthrowable EX pile driver, V skill versus hits, that kind of stuff.
Like grapplers, turn off or mute the stream right now. Don't turn it off. We need the views. So nice.
There you go. Exactly what I mentioned. Hard to bring out the clap.
Kichipamu already establishing a really strong neutral here.
Ooh, crush.
Again. Okay. So this is maybe just his go-to, huh? So like I said, after regular crush, stand fierce, you cannot get dash forward pile driver. That's only on charged fierce. So in that case, like versus Tokido, here Kichipamu does dash forward, crouching strong, and it's not a combo, but it is a guaranteed button. You get free pressure here. So what you're hoping to do is enforce a mix-up of crouching strong in case they try to press a button or jump or backdash or whatever. Versus, you know, if you keep them still, now it's time to just bring out a pile driver, right? It's a very Zangief mix-up.
Dash plus 2.
She's supposed to stun.
Dang.
Shimmy walk back. SPD.
What a way to start, and it's
That was a blow up. By the way, this whole 3 out of 5 set is 6 minutes and 55 seconds in the video, and we watched like the first minute of it was just the players beforehand. So,
What's the adjustment, Wei Li? Nice sweep.
you know, this is a rough one.
Nothing, and
No, again, you just can't.
Absorbing all the hits there.
Doesn't work
Wei Li
like that.
comes down there for
recover
a
that
second.
gray light for the most part. Ooh.
Wow. That was a range too, where if I were him, I would feel uncomfortable about throwing out the fierce.
Gray light for the most
This
part.
range, where was it? Here. You know, this is not a whiff punish reaction. This is not him seeing the sweep and then do fierce. This is too fast. I mean, it's happening simultaneously, as you could see. So it's not that. This is him just being like, now's the time for fierce. And he was right. If he was just a little bit closer, that sweep would probably have blown him up. Maybe he's just right on the frames, but in any case, if that hadn't been a sweep,
Into the
hold on. If that hadn't been a sweep, if Laura had been walking backwards instead, then that's an easy whiff punish right there. Easy whiff punish. So I feel like this is a risk, but he was right. He was absolutely right yet again. Oof, the first time for pressure, and he guessed right out of it too. Jeez.
how that plays out.
All right, so Wei Li knows it's time to make it happen. That's what the EX was about.
Yeah, I believe he's 0 after that.
Ah, this time he takes it. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's it. Oh no, really? Wow, barely. Ah, wake up, stand, jab, attempted right there. So the series of pressure at the end here, I like. This is very traditional Zangief pressure. You know, it's so after you land, what was it? Air pile driver? Yeah, air X pile driver. So after air X pile driver, you do not get dash up crouching strong versus 3-frame characters like Laura. If he had tried crouching strong and Laura had tried stand jab, then stand jab would win. But you do get a free crouching jab. So what you can do is crouching jab, then crouching strong as a way to look for a counter hit or something, or if you expect the opponent to jump away. And crouching jab by itself, unfortunately, doesn't link into crouching jab, so that's a bummer. But that is a way to like guarantee yourself pressure. So this is all traditional stuff right here. This is just the regular, you know, yeah, V-skill absorb, into the little flex hit, into spin, into combo, into pressure. So, which, hey, makes sense, man. Get the life lead and then pressure and get for the kill.
Doesn't even have to time it perfectly.
That makes total sense. Man, Wei Li has this very concerned expression on his face. Look at that poor guy.
Alright, pretty dominant first match.
That also might be his face, though. It's kind of hard to tell.
How does this matchup go?
Woo! Directly
That's a
into
great
it.
question. Don't play either character. Neutral-wise, it definitely looks like Zangief is winning, but you know the same could be said about his matchup.
He's
with
never
Tokido
whiffed a
earlier.
fierce, man. It's remarkable.
Certainly goes against conventional thought, but that just shows how
And he's so guessing right when the few defensive situations come up. So crouching short jab, right? Dash forward, crouching short jab. Okay, it hits. Now we've been here before. The last time this came up, Kichipamu did backdash to escape the command grab, and he was right. This time, Wei Li does fierce just in case of a backdash to blow it up, and Kichipamu blocks and is fine.
that just shows how skills
You know, it's just sometimes you're absolutely right.
But you know, it's worth mentioning stand medium punch from Zangief.
That was good hit confirm. It's kind of a risk to take on forward fierce. I mean, it's not punishable by itself, but I don't know if you want to be next to Keef like that.
Minus after that heavy kick block, he still got the SBD. Empty jumping to nothing.
Kichipamu just wants to hold his ground.
Why is he?
doesn't want
I wonder
Laura
why
to
he's
play
neutral
like that.
jumping.
Air and the air.
As soon
Well,
as
it
he
was
sees
just the
play like
thunderclap
that,
dash. Yeah.
And the air
As soon as he
pop-up.
sees a thunderclap, Kichipamu
I'm a little
Empty jumping to nothing.
perplexed as to why he handles this situation like this. He has a big life lead. Now after this, you don't get a free dash. So this is jab pile driver, which means the dash forward is actually -3 or 4. That's an important difference. So let me see if I can find that info. If you know offhand, let me know. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I feel like it's -4, but it might be -3. Let's see if the old frame data app has this. I guess not. Anyway, it's not free pressure for sure to do dash forward, and it is punishable at least versus 3 frame characters, which Laura is anyway. So whatever, right? The regular jump forward is safe-ish, right? If Laura had done walk forward into fierce anti-air special move, what do they call those? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Fierce button, fierce special move. I don't know. Then Kichipamu would have been anti-air, but that's not that likely to happen. So anyway, jumps forward, safe-ish. Now I'm surprised at what he does. Rather than taking this spot to maybe hang out, maybe press the advantage. We didn't see the whiff punish, right? I'm not going to tell you it's easy to whiff punish that, but he's been whiff punishing things, so he didn't do it there. He backs off instead. He backs off. So to back off is understandable in the sense that you know Wei Li has V-trigger and it will be dangerous if he activates it. Because Laura just has a good V-trigger, right? She is, even on Zangief, she has good pressure. I mean, what Wei Li chose to do was not maybe the right thing to do, but she can pressure Kief well, certainly, like with everybody else. So you don't want her to activate, but you know, is jumping away the right way to deal with it? I don't know. I feel like he's neutral jump here because he's looking for a forward fierce, right? He's like, I hope you did forward fierce, and Wei Li did not. But if Wei Li sees this neutral jump, then Wei Li can be like, well, you just neutral jump. You can't jump in time. This is a free forward fierce. So if your neutral jump is not right, then you have guaranteed that an opponent who has good reactions will just get an activation for sure now.
Wants to hold his ground. He doesn't want Laura to activate like that.
Anyway, this was the wrong call for Wei Li to pressure like that. But Kichipamu, I feel like, almost gave that round up. Like that could have been bad news. And this is fine. If you're Geef, this is totally fine. You are slowly walking the opponent backwards. Wow. Okay. Wow. Wow. The range? Are you serious? What's the range like here? I feel like this is... This, like, could not be... What is it to do? Individual for... Yeah, here it is. Okay. Alright, so this is like absolute the maximum. Like, I feel like Wei Li thinks, oh, I'm safe. Oh. I mean, Kichipamu was right. Just like he's been right almost every time. So after that, Geef's mix-up is not super great. You get a free jab pile driver if you think the opponent's going to stay still. Obviously, you don't have EX anymore. So you can't get pressure after that, just jab pile driver and then, you know, kind of situation reset. Or you can get a fierce or whatever, and that's like some damage, but, you know, not great. So a lot of people I know just hold up back and they're like, well, maybe he'll fierce me, but if not, oh well. Yeah, with trigger it's a different deal. Yeah. Oof. But he's not even had trigger in this set, by the way. Oh, no! So, here's why Wei Li did this. Wei Li was like, oh, last time you saw that I was gonna do Thunderclap Dash, and so you did Lariat because that will beat the Fireball, and I'm not putting any hitboxes into you, so you'll win. But if it's Thunderclap into overhead, then the overhead crush counters, and it will beat Lariat. It will beat Lariat. So this is Wei Li, like, trying to make the different mix-up happen, and Kichipamu just knowing that that's what Wei Li was going to do, and absorbing it instead. It's just, you know, like I said, sometimes you just guess right every time. And it's almost been like that for Kichipamu. Almost. Yeah, I mean, he really just has all the answers. does feel that way.
Zangief is such a rare character these days, you know, and China may not have a Zangief to the level of Kichipamu, right?
Man, poor Wei Li. You know, I kind of feel for the guy too. Like here he is, like in his home country, and he makes winner's side top 8, and it's clearly a big deal. I don't know if everybody watched, but before the top 8 actually started, there were like half a dozen speeches by, I don't know, people. I don't know, no, I didn't understand Chinese, so I don't know. But important people they sounded like, and there was a whole like cosplay play battle beforehand. Like it was like built up. It's like a big event, you know. And there's all these people watching in fancy chairs, and he gets smoked. I think he lost every game in winner's top 8. I don't think he won a game. I think he just got deleted, which sucks.
Certainly builds his self-confidence.
Panning. The heat away from his DNA and his controller. And switching
Alright, so we
up
got
the
a new
game.
color,
We've got a pumpkin. It is October soon. Okay, that's needy,
yeah,
but still
okay.
gets the SPD reversal with the.
The problem with setups like that is that there's just not a good other mix-up to it. I feel like the biggest dork whenever I get hit by Laura overhead, because, like, unless it's a particular situation like before, like previous round, where like I guess that Laura's gonna do like thunderclap dash, but it's actually thunderclap just regular hit V skill. Okay, fine. But in regular situations, I feel like an idiot if I get hit by that overhead, because there's not like a good credible low at most ranges. It's only like point blank crouching short jab, unless Laura just wants to do crouching medium kick into bolt thunderbolt, right? Anyway, into bolt, which is -2 on block, which is not great. So I just feel like that's not like, this is not like a real mix up. You just default to overhead here. I do anyway.
Okay, that's
Okay,
needy,
yeah,
but still
okay.
gets the SPD reversal with the Oki.
Woo!
Stay on the ground.
Dang! Oh, really?
Lariat into the stun.
Okay, well, he got the stun. Let's see what happens here. He doesn't kill, but he's very close.
Into
Yeah, he was looking for air SPD. Anyway, let's move back. So this is him, right? So he expects to jump out. If you expect to jump out, you could just do crouching jab into crouching strong, but he did forward fierce, which is better payoff, as you can see.
Stay on the ground and
Then roundhouse crush. So I'm a little surprised that he didn't just do air EX pile driver here, which works at far range. Like it's, I don't know that I've had it whiff except for on like Dawson buttons, like very far things. But other than that, if I crush counter stuff that's like at normal footsie distance, air EX pile driver actually has a great horizontal range, and it almost always connects. So I'm a little surprised that he didn't do that here. This definitely would have worked. Instead, he dashes up and gets counter hit and gets the stun. So, like, yet again, I feel like this has been like almost every time. Kichipamu gives up guaranteed damage in favor of a mix-up, and it works out.
Oki, headbutt, stay on the ground and
Counter.
nothing. Headbutt
Counter
into
hit,
the lariat
yep.
into the stun.
So if he had done,
Oki,
so this is roundhouse, bam, into EX pile driver. That's not a stun. Yeah, that wouldn't quite have stun. It would have been close, but not quite.
jump, headbutt, another headbutt into reset, nothing.
Well, I like the patience from Wei Li. Oh my god.
That is
Oh no.
3-0 everyone.
Yeah, this looks.
That is a hard counter. I mean, that is a bad feeling if you're Wei Li right there. Wow.
Into
Okay, so he's just guessing right. I mean, look, I'm sure we've all had those days. None of my days have been at top 8 of a premiere, but I've had those days where I just feel like I'm guessing right every time, and I can do no wrong, and everything feels like it works. Right? I mean, I'm sure we've all been there. Like, whether it's just with your friends or online or whatever, like, you've had those moments. And this is one of those times where Kichipamu is just... he's just right. You just gotta ride it when it happens. So he slightly is pressuring, right? This is not huge pressure. This is what I've begun to do in matches where I'm particularly worried about V-triggers. Like, for example, I have a friend who plays G. So when I play against his G, it's very often the case that, like, I'll have a life lead, and then he has trigger, and then I lose. That's you know, I don't know what percentage of his rounds that he wins by like a V-trigger comeback, but it's like substantial. It's like quite a lot of them. So in those instances, I just block. I just think, okay, look, you have it. You're going to do like EX low dash punch or whatever and activate. Like you just, I get it, right? Like I just want to make sure that I'm not going to get hit low. I just want to make sure I can block. And I prioritize that over situations. Now, if I'm at maximum range, then sometimes I do a backdash hoping that he will whiff and hopefully I get a punish. I'm not very often right about that, sometimes, but like not that often. This is the same idea at a Kichipamu. So he's flexing, hoping that Laura will present something that is flexible and punishable. Okay, she didn't, right? And immediately, it's like he was... It's like the flex had dual purpose. It was like it was for a button to absorb, but also maybe that it was to provoke some response out of Wei Li, which is a very interesting usage of V skill.
Reset nothing.
Right? Again, backdash. I mean, oh my god. What up, Bifu? What up, man? Hope your drive back was good.
That is.
Yeah,
He's 3-0 everyone.
yeah, this looks not so good for Wei Li right now.
It looks not too good for Wei Li. I agree with you, Ryan.
An intervention at this point.
Well, what type
This was something I was very impressed by the entire time. What was it? What was it? The season 4 buff. Backdash out of V skill. Yeah, yeah, it was.
everyone.
Yeah, this looks not so good for Wei Li right now. We're gonna have to see a
So what I'm impressed by, what we're about to see, is that he did response. He responded to dashes with crouching jab lariat a lot.
an intervention at this point.
Bam. So this only combos on counter hit. This is a counter hit only combo. Zangief can't combo crouching jab to anything else. I think he might be the only character. But it's only on counter hit. So you have to do crouching jab, and then what I do, I'm probably what he's doing, is crouching jab, and I'm gonna do crouching jab, and again, and while I'm doing crouching jab, then I have time to see whether the counter hit connected, and then I can know whether to do lariat or not. Obviously on block you do not want to do crouching jab lariat.
Well, what type of intervention?
After this lariat, you don't get anything. This is a lariat that leaves the opponent far. But still, I mean, that's really useful. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me. I wish crouching jab would just combo, but whatever.
Yeah, just staying safe, not going for anything crazy on the minus frames.
He has not whiffed stand fierce this entire time.
Oh wow.
Oh, no.
Using
You know, he's just blocking there, and he knows he knows exactly that Wei Li's gonna sit still. Just kill her. Just, you know, have mercy. Yeah, just, right.
That's all she wrote.
Oh my god. So at the end, what was this? It was lariat. Okay, so after lariat, and this was bad lariat, right? No, it was good lariat. Okay, so that is to say, if you don't know Geef, see where Geef faces when he finds this hit. You'll notice that his body is forward. To the camera, I mean. So, when lariat hits like this, with his chest facing the camera, then Geef gets a good situation after that. The mix-up is, if you back tech, Geef gets a free dash into pressure. He has enough time for that. If you do not back tech, then you're just right next to him. And if he does dash forward and you're right next to him, then you can like press buttons first. But that's the mix-up, right? If he thinks the opponent will back tech, then he'll dash, and if he thinks that the opponent will not, then he will stay still and just like pressure. However, there's one way to deal with both, and that's roundhouse. Just walk and then roundhouse. I mean, not just round. I guess you could press any number of buttons, but you know, roundhouse is one where it's it'll crush, yada yada. You know, obviously there's good uses for roundhouse. So he goes for the safe tool here. And Wei Li just gets hit. Just the wrong mix-up from Wei Li. God, that guy just got destroyed. Destroyed.
So yeah, well done to Wei Li. He made it the top game,
Kichipamu.
really, really stacked Premier. Amazing performance overall, but
Wow. So from beginning to end, let's see what time was it when this ended. This was, the KO was at 6:34 on my video, and it started at, oh man. Okay, it started at 1:16. So it was 5 minutes and 18 seconds of a 3-0. Wow. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. All right. So then, I believe then next was NL. But like I said, you know, we already watched Kichipamu versus Tokido, Akuma, so it's fine. Just move on to the next one. All right, so Kichipamu versus Mago.
So let's take one more quick look at the bracket. We're down to our top 4 players. We have
Look at this list. So he came in with losers. He lost to Hot Dog. He lost to Hot Dog the previous day. After that, I don't know who he made it in past a birdie. He made it in past a birdie in 9th place. So he beat a birdie player in 9th. You know, legit. Then he 3-0'd Tokido. And he 3-0'd Wei Li. And he 3-1 to NL. And now he's in losers finals versus Mago. Yeah, Sunhui. Something like that. No, I figure, whatever, man. We'll just move on next. We already seen him versus Akuma. Unless, I mean, I don't remember if anything particularly noteworthy happened versus NL. If so, we can watch it.
So far in this event, losers finals is going to be Mago versus Kichipamu. Winner of that is going to be
Let's
Hot Dog 29 in grand finals.
let's go forward here.
The KK Kabushiki Kaisha.
Alright,
Yeah.
the limited liability.
Wow, will he go Abigail? Oh my on.
What about the AZ stands for? Shouts to them for really betting on this young talent pay dividends for whoever.
Cyclone. Man, Zangief's so cool. I honestly think Zangief is that this is the coolest Zangief.
On to the grand finals to face
I love this
Hot
Zangief.
Dog from Hong Kong. It's going to be these 2 Japanese players fighting for that chance. Kichipamu the chance.
All right. So we chat about Zangief versus Karin. I feel that it's much the same as some other footsies matchups that he plays, with the exception that if Karin finds a hit, then she does a buttload of damage. So, you know, we watched Akuma. If Akuma finds like footsie's crouching medium kick, then he gets, you know, Tatsu uppercut or whatever, or Tatsu into roundhouse Tatsu or whatever. It's not like a ton of damage. It's pressure if he wants it, but it's not like a ton of damage. Or maybe Akuma gets stand medium kick and did the same stuff, right? Versus Laura, a whiff punish is like, okay, it's crouching medium kick or whatever into the bolt or sweep into pressure, but it's not like a lot of damage. Karin is a lot of damage. She does a lot of damage. And this is, of course, why everybody's talking about Karin and why people are switching to Karin as if it's new. Do you know what I mean? Like, as if it's, like, new that she gets a lot of damage after a hit confirm in footsies. This is partly what I don't understand about people just now being like, Karin's so good, is that she's, like, the same as before. She's, like, very mildly changed. So, I don't know. I think it's confusing. But in any case, people have been watching Punk and Bonchan do it, and now they're like, oh, I'm going to do the same. You know, I get it. It's clearly very good. So, that's Mago playing Karin now. And Mago's that guy who he picks good stuff. There's the only time I can remember where Mago didn't just go right to the top tier is when he played Yang in Street Fighter 4, towards the end of that game's life. Before that, thinking about who Mago played, in fact, here's a funny story that I think now is wrong, but back in the day, not even that long ago, this conversation I'm thinking of in particular was like mid Street Fighter 4. This is probably like AE. It was commonly thought in the US by top players that Mago was not actually that great at fighting games. He just played top tier. He just floated by on top tier, that he was like propped up. And while he was pretty good, obviously, he wasn't as talented as like the other players who came over to the US from Japan. Is common sentiment. Now I think that's not true. Now I think everybody would say Mago is very good, especially September Mago. But that was pretty commonly felt. Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, he plays top tier. I'm just saying that it's not... There are people who play top tier who are also super good, you could tell. And players in the US like didn't really think that about Mago. They were like, we don't actually think he's that great. He just plays good characters. Now, I think we would all say that he both plays good characters and also is really good. Do you think that? I'm not sure. I think he's really good now. But anyway, so he's playing Karin, and like I said, I think that this matchup for Zangief is very similar in terms of what he does, what Zangief does in footsies, right? It's stand strong to whiff punish things like stand strong and whatever, roundhouse. It is stand short to whiff punish things. It's stand fierce with the and V skill, with the exception that Karin, if she finds a hit, does big damage. Whereas Zangief, if he finds a hit, doesn't really, right? I mean, his footsies don't lead to big damage. The only exception is like if he gets a crush counter charged fierce. Okay, big damage. But that's rare. Mostly it's whittling away the life.
And I'll be honest, even though we just saw 2 amazing performances by Kichipamu, I still don't know how he's going to win this
so, right. As I said, this is an important thing that he does. Crouching jab in response to the dash. Then you're gonna do the second crouching jab because on block you can just do it, right? They can DP, I guess, but in terms of buttons, they can't stick anything in there. So you can just do crouching jab, and if you see that the first one is a counter hit, then you can cancel the second jab into a lariat. Even I can do that, right? For me, the bigger problem is reacting to the dash than reacting to the counter hit. So what I'm more impressed by is that he just consistently gets crouching jab on reaction. It's not just about reacting, it's also about not being busy during that time. What I mean is that if he had whiffed a stand strong or whatever button, and Mago had decided that that was the time to dash, then as Zangief is whiffing the stand strong, he will not be able to crouching jab in time when Mago dashes in. So Mago wants to find that kind of moment. What you want to get as the person who's dashing in is either that you feel like you've frozen the opponent through just aggressive footsies, or that you expect that the opponent will be trying to play an aggressive footsies game, but that they'll have whiffed something, and now you're trying to find the moment where they have just whiffed something to dash in a timing that they can't really deal with. Okay, come on.
You know what I mean? This is such a uphill battle for Zangief on paper, so I want to see how he does it.
Okay, he definitely did do the guaranteed damage. Buttons on Wake Up? What a gutsy feller. So I guess I'm a little surprised that this Fierce was not into EX Pile Driver. This is good Lariat, right? I believe so. Good Lariat?
On paper. So I want to see how...
No, it's bad Lariat. Okay, so if you see... Like I said, if you see Zangief's chest as he's hitting with Lariat, he gets the mix-up I was talking about. If you don't, if you see his back, then he does not get a good mix-up. I mean, in the corner, it's fine, it works, but other than that, no.
But that's what
So he actually did have the corner and could have gotten a pile driver. Look to me like he's starting a pile driver. If you see a Zangief kind of like do this, then it's probably pile driver startup. Yeah. He was definitely inputting the pile driver.
Right, that's what I thought about Akuma.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
He jumped forward? What? By the way, I didn't think to mention this, but I believe that happened 0 times versus Wei Li. The only time I can think of a jump was after that jab pile driver when he had Wei Li towards the corner, where he did a jump forward, but not at a range where a button would connect. I don't think I ever saw one other than that. Did he not have the meter yet? Is that why he didn't do it? Oh.
On paper. So I want to see
you are super right. Okay, good work.
But that's
good
what
work.
I thought about the...
Right, that's what I thought.
That makes
about
sense.
Akuma too.
Oh my god, the clean jump.
Anyway, he jumped and he was right, so what a genius.
Yeah, working on almost a perfect, not quite. And that's a heavy version. That's enough.
What determines front or back lariat hit? Range is basically the answer to that, but it's not entirely the answer to that. It's also, well, really what it is the frame that the active frame connects on. So it's like a specific set of frames too. It's something weird. It's like frame 6 or something. Let me see if it's written down in the frame data here. Yeah, if the attack hits on active frames 9 through 11, then the recovery is reduced by 10 frames. 9 or 11. So what this means in practice is that if you are canceling from certain moves at certain ranges, then it will work. And if it's not those particular moves and ranges, then it won't work. An example is crouching strong, stand short, lariat will give you good lariat. But just regular, most common situations where you land stand short lariat, like whiff punishing that we saw before, right? That will not give you good lariat. So it's just like a very precise situation. What it means is that essentially you have to find something like crouching strong, stand short lariat to get the good lariat. If you do crouching short, crouching jab lariat, that's not good lariat. If you do far stand short lariat, that's not good lariat. If you do crouching jab counter hit, crouching jab lariat, not good lariat. So it's very rare. It's a very specific situation that you have to find. Why? I don't know. I don't know. There it is. Dude, his footsies are just so good. So this is not, you're not reacting to Karin stand medium. Are you? Are you? Maybe. I mean, I'm trying to watch this. All right, so I'm not. That's definitely for sure. You're not watching this. But Kichipamu maybe. Okay, yeah, this one was blocked. Then try it again. Oh, this is like low. Okay. The little swing from Mago. When does this lariat start up? This is not a reaction. This is, come on. Okay, so let's see. Let's count the frames. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're not pressing that on the 9th frame. You're not. You don't have 9 frame reaction speed. I mean, look, Kichipamu was very good, but this is definitely just more about knowing the timings. This is just like, Mago, I know you're gonna press a button here. Bam.
Nice
Anyway.
punish.
Ooh, we got
Yeah,
some
we saw the
parries.
kick counter there. Maybe he was expecting the heavy kick.
What's funny is that the kick counter, there's only a couple matchups where the kick counter is ever used. I actually don't know what the motion for it is. Let me see if this thing has it. Thunderstorm. Dragon punch plus 2 punches. I've never done it on purpose. I've actually never done it on purpose. The only time I ever get Thunderstorm is if I try to do EX Pile Driver and I screw it up. I've never done it on purpose in my whole life. The only time I ever see people doing it is in this matchup, and maybe one other. I'm trying to think, but I have seen people do it against Karin because it counters kicks. It counters mid-hitting kicks, and Karin has 2 important ones: roundhouse and medium kick. Not punches, not low ones, just mid-hitting kicks. It's super weird. So this is one matchup where it works. Yeah, Cammy, there you go. Cammy's an instance with roundhouse. I'm sorry, with medium kick. But even Cammy is like, Cammy presses strong a lot. You know what I mean? Like, Karin presses strong as like a counter poke, but it's not as commonly done like aggressively. Whereas Cammy is trying to walk up and press stand strong against you a lot. So, I don't know. Colleen? Yeah, I guess I could see Colleen. I don't know. Now that I think about it, I think it might just literally be Karin. I'm going to look up the list of characters because I always have to do that. Who was in this game? I never remember unless I'm seeing a list. You know, Poison might be a good one. No, that's not. Crouching Fierce and Fierce. No. not Falk. Anyway, whatever. I've never pressed it on purpose, as you could tell. Dawson presses stand. No, so stand meeting quick actually beats it. Stand meeting quick does not get countered by Thunderstorm, right? Now I'm like questioning myself on that, right? I believe that's true. Dawson stand roundhouse will get countered by it, but I believe that's true. Dawson, in any case, presses stand strong too often for that to be a good idea. Whatever. This is the only matchup where I've seen people do it, I think.
Now that move only counter kick.
It only counters kicks.
Just to blow up the armor. Doing it again, just to dissuade.
Back medium kick from Sim as well, yeah, that's true.
Heavy kick.
Anyway, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about in terms of why Karin's so dangerous. So, Zangief is trying to play footsies and having great success at it, I want to point out.
Yeah, dissuading medium kick and dissuading heavy kick.
Ooh, he dashed in. Is that actually the first dash? Did we ever see a regular dash? No, we saw dashes after a fierce counter hit. Did we ever see in the first two matches we watched just a regular dash? I don't think so. I can't recall it happening. In this game, in the first game, he has jumped forward and he has done dash forward. I wonder if it's just that he thinks he has a read on Mago. I wonder if it's like a Mago specific thing. I don't know.
It's not really working out in his favor as he backdash.
Okay, gets the activate. And he's going to spend it. He wants the Oki. He wants the Oki.
So, yeah, Z just asked the question, right? Do you agree with this? I mentioned before that if Zangief lands super, then his mix-up after that is not that compelling. But the big exception to that is if he has V-Trigger activated.
And he's going to spend it. He wants the Oki. He wants the Oki. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, you could go all the way right now.
So I get the pile driver because this is, you know, with the threat of V-Trigger there, if he finds a hit, then it's into full V-Trigger spin. If that's what he wants, maybe he wants to reset, I don't know. But if that's what he wants, then he could do that. So using activation into super is, I think, a good call. I think that makes sense. The only question is, does it make sense when you have 8% health left or whatever it is? That is a different story, I feel. I'm not sure that was a great use of meter.
He tried to. He went for jab SPD there.
Oh, what
okay.
was that?
Yo, he got it and didn't see armor. Oh, okay. So
that trade was.
This was.
Oh, what was that?
Yeah, if he had done, which you commonly do, crouching short jab, now he would have seen that. But he just didn't think that he should do that for whatever reason.
That trade was in his favor.
Trying to jump out. Will she jump out?
And safe. Okay, yeah.
Dang, he was so close.
Okay, yeah.
He just did that too early.
He had the right idea. He was expecting the heavy kick. He just went for the counter too early.
Thanks, Fubarduck. That's true. So as a result of that super, he doesn't have super coming into this one. Dude, that's what I'm talking about, right? So Zangief is pressing buttons well, playing footsies, and then if he gets one wrong, then it's 20%, 15%, 20% damage, depending on what Mago wants to spend, and it's knockdown pressure.
Good challenge there.
Ooh, still got the trade.
Yep, he did that lariat.
Ooh! Uh-oh, good punish from so
punish.
far.
Ooh, do it. Oh, wow, it's like ideal situation. What? What?
It might be. It is scaled, but the last hit is still going to go.
What? That was ideal. Could it have gotten any better than that? This was a full... How much left did Mago have? That much? Oh my god. Okay, so one mix-up. Right? He blocks. Okay.
Oh,
Bam!
boy.
One mix-up. Two mix-ups.
What?
So, I mean, there you see it, right? The power of Zangief V-Trigger 1, if Zangief wants to do resets. If. This could easily have gone a different way. If Kichipamu had done crouching strong or pile driver, anything active, right here, right? If he had done anything active here, then Mago would have gotten the knockdown and been able to pressure or run away, either way. And V-trigger spin wouldn't be very useful at that point. So, you know, and especially what's true is, you know how V-trigger spin has different strengths. So it has strength 1, which is just to do the vacuum, which is called level 1 vacuum. Level 2 is where you do the spin and it hits, and you get a pop-up but no juggle. You just do some damage, right? Level 3 is where you hold the button the whole time and it does the full vacuum into spin into full-on juggle. That's level 3. So there's 3 levels. Why did I bring that up? Oh, because if you let his V-trigger bar, let me see if I can show you this with my little mouse here. Is this showing up? Oh no, it's not really. Anyway, if his bar gets to half, then he can only do level 1 and level 2. There's no more level 3, which means that if you time him out for like 15 seconds, then he no longer has access to the really damaging level 3 spin into juggle into whatever. So that's kind of the risk that you take in terms of going for this mix-up. But hey, look, it worked out just gorgeously, right?
Bringing it again.
It just can't get better than that. That's just the ideal. Genius.
Think about it. How is Kichipamu going to beat Karin? He just showed us. He just has to do that 2 more times.
Quick resets. His partner. Lex?
Yep.
Interesting to do a command dash right there.
Oh.
Yeah, that could have been really bad for Mago. He got quite lucky in that interaction.
There's that standing medium. That's so problematic. So fast and so far.
Yeah, again, it's this reset. Now, that was not good lariat, actually. I should have clarified. If you do crouching strong, stand short lariat from not point blank, you don't get good lariat. Sorry, Zangief. Oop.
Far.
Takes the reset. Well,
I don't know why. Whatever.
There, so might as well do a hit.
There's that parry that he wants. Oh. Stopping the
It's a good catch.
Headbutt. Walking. Oh.
Okay, too far.
Ah. A lot of whiff.
Oh!
That was confirmed.
Ah, does he think he'll kill, maybe? Is that why he's doing this? No.
Still gets Toki.
Wow.
Yeah, he went for medium normal throw. See it get
Yo, he whiff punished sweep? Okay.
Let's do it. We can take that throw and still be another
What? Yo, you can't tell me Mago's not good. Mago's good. Look at this guy.
Close it out with down jab.
His timings are really good.
Go for that distance. Just spend that bar sometimes.
You know, he's shooting for the moon. I'm talking about Kichipamu. He's shooting for the moon a little bit more with stand roundhouse. That's not something that we saw very often before. We saw roundhouse in some situations, like if it was a meaty or like on a reset, like a couple of times. But in regular footsies, I don't know if we saw that versus Tokido or Wei Li. And we've seen it a couple times. Not a lot, but we've seen it a couple times versus Mago. The benefit of that is if you find a counter hit, then it's a crush, and you get to do air, pile driver, and now you are point blank next to them. Cool. The downside is that it only hits people who are walking around in neutral. As a meaty attacker, you can hit people trying to crouch, but walking around, it's only versus people who are standing. And on whiff, it's, you know, it's not like fierce levels of punishable, but it's pretty whiff punishable, especially for somebody like Mago, who's just probably would do crouching medium kick, you know, into whatever. So it's a little riskier. And forward. Can I tell you about forward medium kick? This poor move. I don't know why they nerfed it. They nerfed it. Why? I don't understand. I still feel bad about that poor move. Just let it live. It'd be cool if it was useful.
Yeah, Mago not discouraged at all from using stand medium kick and stand heavy kick. He knows the
Ooh, he whiffed. He whiffed a fierce. Uh-oh. If I am Mago right now. Now, of course, we're taking more time to review this, so this is harder to just know on the fly. But having seen a whiffed roundhouse and a whiffed fierce, I'm now thinking as Mago, wow, this guy's getting antsy. Getting antsy out here.
Trying to discourage him.
Yeah, you see how many times he's pressing strong? It's not just... I mean, as we mentioned, you can't just whiff punish a stand medium kick with a stand strong. I don't believe that. But he's been very active with stand strong. Active enough to just, like, hit Mago a lot. But right there were, like, 3 in a row. Yeah, 4. Well, that's definitely a tell as well. So there's some hurried feelings going on for Kichipamu. Oh, no.
No punish though, a little too far.
No. Oh, it worked. I literally mid-jump was like, no way.
It was a counter hit though, so we had some additional time.
Good defense.
Another jump in.
Wow, another jump in. Wow, another jump in?
What happens here at the back throw?
Okay.
He has life lead down. Deal with all this.
So ideally for Kichipamu now is that he lands,
Yeah, the
you know,
problem here
button
is
into
Akuma
activation.
pointed out Kichipamu's feature
Not gonna
here,
happen.
but
Yeah, I mean, this is a round that it makes
no matter,
sense.
gets the hit he needs,
Makes
ties
sense
it up.
that Mago would win because you could really see, I feel, Kichipamu getting
Yeah.
Oh!
you know, a little ahead of himself.
Even though it's
See a little head nod from him. I wonder if that's what the recognition is.
well, you know the feeling. It's like dying when you have money in the bank. When you lose.
Kichipamu does the same thing after super every single time. That's not true. But he does do either jab pile driver or stand fierce. Which is the, you know, more or less the mix-up. Is that a great mix-up? Nah. It's not like the most compelling mix-up in the world, but it is a mix-up. If the opponent expects an SPD, they'll jump, but the fierce will hit them before they jump. You know, or if they try to press a button, then the fierce will counter hit them, crush them. I mean, yeah, it's not like a super compelling mix-up. So if you have V-trigger, as I mentioned, then your mix-up becomes better, which is why Kichipamu did super in the previous round or game and had V-trigger and decided to do pile driver because he thought Mago would expect that now my on-hit mix-up is more compelling, so Mago will sit still worried about that, which meant that Mago jumped away instead. You know, the classic mix-ups.
And you have your V trigger.
Yeah, I usually just use this layout on Mondays, but my intention is to do that. But I just finished it like this morning, so I just, you know, it's cool. Come on, look at it, it's cool. I like it. So I think it's really smart for Kichipamu to take some time, because that last round was not as compelling for him as previous ones.
Sweaty. Got the moisturizer.
You know, that was not his best.
Alright, so on to stage. Here we go.
Japanese players to be the Japanese stage upon now. You can see him all tournament long. We certainly saw this beautiful stage. Oh!
Alright. Okay, yeah.
What? He went for roundhouse? Man, this guy's all about the resets.
Challenge.
Attack invincibility. Plus.
Oh,
Okay.
Mago. Pretty good.
Not even the backdash. Drake hand.
He waited. He thought.
Wait, was it elbow? Okay, it was the little punch. Isn't that unsafe, the punch? Or did something change about that? Let's see what we got here. I don't know what it's called. I probably should have thought about that. Is that Guren Hosho, which is just a button, just a jab? If so, it's -9. There you go, -9. Yeah, okay, so it just didn't... He probably just expected that it was the elbow. Which is, I guess it must be Guren Chochu. Which is +1.
Waited.
Well, that's an unfortunate lack of recognition right there. And surprising, to be honest. Oh, wow. I feel like that's really the only, like, major error, though. I mean, as I said, the previous round I felt was not Kichipamu's best. It was maybe a little bit too, like, too active, too aggressive, maybe. But that's not, like, the same thing as saying a mistake. That's just, you know, you could play better. I don't know. Not really the same kind of thing in my mind. That miss was a mistake, but it's, like, literally the first one I've seen. What could he have gotten if he knew? You just do pile driver.
Reset.
Yeah, just fierce pile driver.
That's a heavy version.
Or EX if you want, but you just do fierce.
EDP trigger.
Wow.
Mago challenging.
Hold on. What's going on here? So
He's
he
not
activated...
coming out.
Okay, so right, so he misses this, unfortunately. Woof!
He waited. He
Mago
thought
gets
maybe
lucky.
the EX reversal was coming out.
Right. So what you'd like to do is only do stand strong into spin on counter hit. That's something that I can do not a huge percentage of the time. Not enough to like use consistently. But I imagine that Kichipamu probably can. It just takes good reactions. However, there are situations where Zangief can activate and then be punishable. Some characters can definitely do that, because some characters definitely block and then jump punish. For sure. So Mago tries that, or at least Mago tries to like start some offense.
Smart, but he's safe.
Which is a good idea. Oof.
Oh,
Nice reset.
is that heavy?
Very cheeky. Yep, that's a heavy version. What's the Oki?
Ooh, boy. Wow. Okay. Mago with the guts. You can make it so that V-trigger spin as a meaty is very plus. It can be like plus 10 if I recall correctly. So plus a lot. Plus a lot. Plus a lot to not... You don't guarantee a forward fierce. That is to say, like, it's not a tight block string. But the opponent, I believe, can't press buttons in between. I'm going to double check on that. Forward fierce. 12 frames. Yeah. So there you go. So it's free in the sense of no buttons in between. But, you know, Mago could have done EXDP there instead of waiting for a second. You know, mix up. Ooh, boy!
Gets both his catches. Mago slipping.
And he held V-skill a little longer than he had before.
Yep,
He'd been,
that's
like,
heavy
just
version. What's
briefly
the Oki?
holding it.
Yeah, EDP trigger. Mago challenging. Very dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
Gets both his catches.
Wow.
Mago slipping.
You know, his timings on V-skill they're just so good. I mean, it's like with everything. He's just... Man, his timings are just amazing.
Oh my god, uses the armor up.
That's really weird. It's weird from Mago to mistime it in that way. If this had been a true meaty jump kick, then that would have beaten the EX running bear grab.
Of the running bear grab to deal with that very ambiguous jump in.
But maybe just the Kichipamu recognized that the jump in was not properly timed. I don't know, let me just see this again. Like, did he clearly jump too late? Yeah, I would say he clearly jumped too late.
Oh my god, uses the armor
Nice
of
work.
the running bear
Kichipamu.
grab to deal with that very ambiguous jump in. Tries to jump out.
He tried it again. Poor...
Oh,
What?
gosh.
There's a challenge.
Okay.
EX SPD, of course.
Dude, Mago's making a lot of really good decisions, you gotta say.
Throw. Oh!
Okay.
She's safe after she backs off. Clean hit from Mago.
Well, Kichipamu knows now. Oh boy. I'm actually a little surprised that Mago did
Secret move.
just immediately into the up, the Tenko or whatever it's called.
No hesitation.
I'm a little surprised.
There.
Just because we had seen V-skill absorb. But okay. I mean, it was the right decision, I guess.
It's a very decisive round here.
No, crush. Into skill. That is close
Wow.
enough.
So like how Mago did
Today.
a block versus forward fierce and then did EX pile driver, that's the same exact thing that Kichipamu just did.
Nice punish on the block speed. Slaps.
Woof. Nice. And that's good lariat.
His face.
Okay, so just good read by Mago to
Ooh.
jump out of there.
We're definitely feeling a little nervous now. He's got a huge
Ooh,
life
good
deficit.
jump.
That's
That
gonna do it.
should be it.
I'm just trying to think about why he would jump. Like, what felt uncomfortable enough to jump? You know, it's been my experience that jumping is about two things. It's really just about uncomfort, right? I mean, on both sides. So if you think that the opponent is uncomfortable, then you can jump in and take advantage, right? You can that's the start of your offense, because you're like, well, you're too uncomfortable to anti-air me. So I'm gonna jump in and like make this happen right now. The other is if you're uncomfortable playing footsies, if you're like uncomfortable on the ground, then you'll jump as like a way to bypass it. So one of you is uncomfortable. Or that's what you think anyway. I wonder why he jumped. Did he just expect that Mago... I mean, Mago was ready for the anti-air, just was wrong on the spacing. I'm not really sure, but, you know, he read the situation right. I feel like you should be amped up, though. I mean, that's... If you get that kind of decision against somebody like Mago, I feel like you should be amped up. That's cool.
Thought, just from his facial expression, that he had lost, but he's up 2-1 against Mago. September Mago last.
Well, you know, a win can still feel like a loss if it didn't.
Look at Mago thinking about this, man.
And maybe a couple of those interactions didn't quite go the way he had planned.
Look, I do the same things sometimes. I just feel like I'm not... Well, I'm obviously way worse than Kichipamu. But I make the same choice sometimes of thinking like, well, I should jump in at this range because the opponent will try to anti-air. And if he had pressed like jump medium or roundhouse, then he would have been anti-aired. But he didn't, right? He was right. So that's like that's not new tech. That's like a known Zangief thing. And since forever, by the way. Like since literally Street Fighter 2 people have been doing that. It's just, he was just right on the timing, which is the impressive thing. Oh, he didn't do Lariat? I feel like it's the first time. Well, okay, range is a little funky. I think it would work, but if he saw that and wasn't sure it would work, then I understand not bringing out Lariat. But I think that would have worked.
More caution in Mago's approach.
Yeah, a lot of caution,
Oh.
but...
What happened? Yeah, that's yeah, would have been questionable.
Yeah, a lot of caution, but...
Ooh. Standing heavy.
I like how as soon as he walks into range, Kichipamu is ready with either stand medium punch or down jab.
There it is. He jumped. And again, curious because it's not that he is down in life. He doesn't need to make something happen. It doesn't seem to me like watching him play. I don't get the sense that he's being hurried or feeling uncomfortable right here. I don't get that sense. Maybe he was. You know, it's evenish on life, right? And this is not. I don't know.
Okay, great start from Mago.
And this is the kind of thing that you feel bad about because that just didn't need to happen. It wasn't only that he got anti-aired. It was that because of the anti-air, Mago got the side switch, so he's no longer getting cornered. Now he has the whole stage. And he gets extra damage. So that sucks in multiple ways. Well, that could be. And yeah, maybe. He just feels like he can take risks. He's up in the set a little bit. Oh boy, that now. Okay, I mean, I get your point, and sometimes that's true, but I also think this is just a round where he just kind of falls apart a little bit.
More caution in Mago's approach.
Yeah, a lot of caution, but...
Just to go back and review. So he gets hit a couple of times. His footsies aren't bad here.
He walks into range, Kichipamu is ready with either stand medium punch or down jab.
Right, so he's pretty even in life. I mean, look, Mago's getting some hits too, but that's pretty evenish. He jumped, so he got hit. Is that what you're saying? He jumped right after he got hit. Well, not right after, but pretty soon. And then the reset from Mago, right? The combo, the throw. All that is because Kichipamu jumped.
Mago.
And so we've seen this, right? We've seen him do the reset every time. He could have just done V-trigger, you know, fierce, activate, level 3, juggle. He could have just taken the 350 or whatever the damage is. That would have been free. Instead, he goes for the reset. Okay, that's been his MO, right? That's been what he's tried to do. So that's his game plan. I don't want to knock that part of it too much. What is a little surprising and not a great look is that he does, okay, reset, fine. Those buttons make sense. Roundhouse here is more curious. That's not ideal. Because like I said, roundhouse will only connect versus people who are standing unless they are like directly waking up. That's, you know, then you can hit them if they're trying to crouch. But if they're just in neutral already, like Mago is, then roundhouse will whiff over them if they're crouching. So that's a bit, that is a call out. That's, you know, that's not just a button string. That's not just a block string. That is, I hope you're backdashing. I hope you're jumping. I hope you're trying stand strong. Something like stand medium, whatever. That's a little bit more. And look how far he's walking. All of these are little tells. He's walking forward a lot. Whereas, you know, if you go back to rounds where he won, it's not that he's not walking forward, it's the degree, it's the amount of walking forward, which it was less in previous rounds. Here, he's walking forward a lot. What that says is, to Mago, Kichipamu needs to get in. It's not just that he's down in life and, like, does need a comeback. It's also that he feels in this moment that he needs to get in. And if that's the case, then Mago can take advantage of that.
Oh, there's a confirm.
So what really seals it is that he did dash forward, Kichipamu did dash forward SPD. You know, dash forward SPD is a call out. It's a call out. It is that you've called out a button timing. You know, like I mentioned before, many times when you dash, what you're hoping is that the opponent just whiffed the button, and so now they don't have time to really react and, like, you know, shut you down, or they just don't have the frames to press a button before you get there. The other thing you're hoping for is that you have frozen them, that you have just, like, pestered them so much that they are expecting another hit, another button, and instead you go for the dash forward. Neither of those have happened. So this round, I feel, is Kichipamu, you know, falling apart a little bit. Well, I'll talk about the Olympics after this, I guess.
Nice, ready with the stand jab, anti-air.
Again, he is fishing for that roundhouse.
Mago still has not been hit this round.
Okay.
Good spot for Kichipamu.
Great defense. Okay, well.
Okay, so we get Oki.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
Doesn't matter if it's good lariat in the corner. Bad is fine.
Oh,
Wow, very nice.
Yeah, we've seen Kichipamu rely on that.
That
side quite a
maybe...
lot.
Oh, right, I remember this. This is one of those super hype things to do. It is... Like, the reality of it is, it's just a reaction. So...
Oh, what?
Okay.
A stun.
Yeah, we've seen
See,
Kichipamu rely on that setup
right.
quite a lot. You'll get the view.
You're just waiting to see that they react, that they jump back, and all you're doing is inputting, like, what I do is input, like, part of the SPD, and then if I see that they've jumped, then I just hold up forward and press the button. And it's not... it's cool. It's super, super cool. But the, like, reality of it is less cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks cool, though. Anyway, this round is... I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a little lucky for Kichipamu. Because he has been... His footsies have been not up with Mago's. I mean, again, he is astronomically better than me, but in the last couple rounds, it hasn't been like that. It hasn't been Mago. It has been Mago controlling things. So that he got Mago into the corner is really useful for him. I mean, that's why all this happened.
Oh, what? A stun.
I like this though. This is one of the few things that I've seen this whole time that isn't just a good decision. It's also like kind of useful looking tech. So this is. So he just did V-Rev. V-reversal, right? After V-reversal, you're -2, and stand fierce is like, I don't know, 10 frames, well, maybe longer. 12 frames. So obviously the opponent can press anything they want to in that period of time. However, this is one of those situations where you may know that the opponent's important buttons will just whiff. And if that's true, then what you can do is a slower button that won't hit them out of their button. It won't beat their startup at all. It will lose if you press it too close. But it will whiff punish by way of just being slow. That is to say, like, in a sort of funky way, the slowness is the utility. That's why it's useful, is that it is slow and far. I like that a lot. I haven't done that after V-reversal, and I'm gonna start doing that. I think that's really cool.
What a stun.
Yeah, we've seen Kichipamu rely on that setup quite a lot. He'll get the view reversal. Okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so.
So I feel like that round could definitely have gone in Mago's favor, but Kichipamu got the mix-ups right, and sometimes that's all you need as Zangief.
And potential.
And in addition to that, what that does is as the Zangief, you feel better about your neutral game, because you think, well, even if I lose neutral, even if he's out footseeing me, all I need is like a couple of knockdowns and I can just take it. So what that does is it gives you more confidence, right? Because it says it should not teach you that you just need to get in. That should not be the lessons that you take from it. And if you do, then you're doing it wrong. Instead, it should be that you can play your normal neutral game, and if it's not working out, you have the backup of the comeback, and that should put you at ease a little bit with the neutral game, because the stakes are not quite as high in the neutral game, right? If you view the neutral game, if you view footsies as the only path to success and it's not going well, then you feel bad, and you start to make decisions that are bad, like dashing in unadvisedly, jumping in at bad times, that kind of stuff. If instead you view footsies as like a way to do it, but that if it doesn't work out, then you still have, if you just happen to get a knockdown, you could still win, then the pressure is not quite as high. Do you see what I'm saying? So that should make you sort of not make those bad decisions.
Match point here for Kichipamu.
He has all the meter to use, and whereas he's Mago backing off from that Oki.
So that's a situation where Roundhouse is a meaty, and it's good.
With the critical art.
Oof, nice spacing.
Oh!
Yeah, Mago is going to have to be really careful anytime he gets in. He knows that Kichipamu is willing to reversal CA. And Zangief
What?
has a reversal.
He did what? Why? There's no way that he saw overhead and called out crouching strong.
Oh!
Yeah, Mago is going to have to be really careful anytime he gets in. He knows that Kichipamu is willing to reversal CA.
No, he was just doing it for sure. For sure. Maybe he was buffering super and didn't get it? I don't know.
And Zangief has a view reversal now as well.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's a combo.
He
It's
jumped?
not gonna kill
Wow, that would have caught me off guard too if I were Mago. Let's go back and just watch this round. Even though I just had all this diatribe about how Kichipamu was a little bit too aggressive in the 2 rounds ago, the way he plays this round is great. You see what I mean about him walking, but not walking too much, as opposed to previous when he did walk too much. He hasn't jumped. He hasn't walked too far. He's not overly buttonsy. This is excellent footsies. So if I'm Mago, I am focused on the ground game. I'm just focused on footsies. I'd probably eat this jump in too. I don't know that I get hit. What was it that he was doing?
And Zangief has a view reversal now as well.
I don't actually know. Look like he just walked into it. But I mean, yeah, I understand why that worked. I think that is how you set up a jump. You set up proper jumps, like I said, by making the opponent uncomfortable, making them hyper focused about the ground game, stuff like that. He did it.
Okay, raw activation.
Okay.
Okay,
That.
music kaku.
Oh wow, he gave it up. Oof. Dang, he could have killed for sure.
One more reversal remaining for Kichipamu.
Oh my god, one more of those mediums and it will be it!
Ah, that's
As
it.
he wins
Why would he
it!
do shoulder?
Mago!
Just like that. Kichipamu has gone.
I don't know. I do feel that the end of that round was a little lucky as well. That didn't need to go like that. There was the moment where, look, it's hard to react every single time and get the right combo every single time. However, if Mago had done, when was it? It's about here. If that had just been the full regular combo, actually maybe he wouldn't have killed Zangief, but it would have been close, and for sure Kichipamu would have been on the ropes.
Oh! Right in the face!
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys are right that it was just like a Hail Mary shoulder. Shoulder's really easy to hit confirm into super. So maybe that's what it was, but that is a hard read, and if that's what it was, then I have to say I don't think it was a good idea, because he still had 40 seconds, right? Yeah, 40 seconds. A long time. A long time. So I don't know.
Like that.
I think that's probably not the best idea.
On an Oni course to top 2.
But hey, look, all that said, you know, I'm a little critical of both players there, but they're both. I think if you go back and just watch that set without trying to be like extremely critical and focused on individual moments,
All right,
they
so,
both played that really well. They both have really good footsies. Mago's good, y'all. It's not like it once was. All right, let's look at the last one here. This is
Oh, the Photoshop!
Nice. I think it's also a disadvantage because he's coming off a hot
Talon Hot Dog 29 versus AZ
He
Kichipamu.
kind of iced him down a little bit. We saw it at not as bad as remember E-League when they did it like mid after the reset.
As I said, Kichipamu lost to Talon Hot Dog in winner's side. That's who sent him to losers in the first place. So Kichipamu had to make it through losers top 8 because of Hot Dog. So in grand finals, it's the rematch. Of course, Kichipamu has to win 2 3 out of 5 sets. In terms of the character matchup, this is usually considered a win for Zangief. Some people will tell you it's a very strong win for Zangief. That Zangief like really beats Dictator. And I don't know, but I feel like Hot Dog's that way because I saw some tweets from him where he was talking about how I think it was that Tokido was thinking about picking up Dictator for some matchups, and Hot Dog was like, don't play him against Zangief. Something like that. So it may be that he thinks it's a bad matchup. I don't know. My personal feelings are that while I think it's probably like a slight win for Zangief, it's not a big deal. I really don't think it's a big deal. It's a matchup where both players can mount offense. They can both mix each other up. They can both stop each other from mixing up, from mounting offense in the first place. But you have to go about it differently. And Dictator has enough tools that I think he can go about it differently. So Dictator's worried about like V-skill absorb versus down forward fears, right? He's worried about absorb versus stomp mix-ups against scissors. Don't just do scissors in neutral like you might in some matchups. He's worried about stand medium punch counter poking, whiff punishing against stand fears and stuff like that. There's definitely ways that Zangief shuts down Dictator. However, Dictator also hard for Dictator to jump in because of lariat basically. So what do you do as Dictator? Well, we'll see. I mean, he definitely still has tools.
Said, okay, they're locked in. No more esports breaks.
Just a little introduction to the matchup, but I do feel like I said that I think Zangief has a slight advantage here. Just not a big deal.
Let's go. First to 3. Kichipamu come from losers. Hey, Jello, put an L next to his name for the stream monsters that have us on mute.
L as in lower. There are no losers here. There's only winners.
Ooh, he did do it.
The flex.
Yeah.
Chop.
And then patience from Hot Dog.
Oh, the jump.
Oof. Oh, backstory. Hot Dog lost his 2 Zangiefs at Combo Breaker this year. Slain Man and Mike Too Strong. Really? So you think that Hot Dog prepared a lot for the Zangief matchup? I've also heard that he has a local Zangief in Hong Kong. I think one of these guys on stream said it. It might have been Fubar Dog. So he should know the Geef match. I don't know. But yeah, maybe he did put a lot of time into it.
Yeah, it's going to be about that flex, right? He's going to have to flex through the swipe. Very good.
How strong.
Well, going to be going to scissor kick to break through that armor.
Oof, see, this is like kind of the thing I'm talking about. Charge fierce, can armor through. So there's definitely stuff that Geef has that shuts down the normal Dictator play.
With the jumping roundhouse, just go for the...
Yeah, he went for the knee right there. If he went for the belly flop, the cross-up hitbox would have activated. Could have got a bit of damage.
Unfortunately, you can't do neutral jump, belly flop.
Oh,
like that. That's
twice.
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 Okay, has to go for the...
Anyway,
Nothing
to be done about that.
Oh, he's gonna go with some nasty setup. Look at this. He's gonna go in the air.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the EX is coming. Which side is it? He just blow up. That is a blow up.
I mean, that's hilarious, but to be honest, you could just V-skill as Geef. Now, that's not free. So, okay, comes in here. Now, Dictator's pressure is good against everybody, even against Geef. Even against Geef. The throw or counter hit, plus on block, crush counter stuff. I mean, he just has a lot of really good pressure tools.
Look at this. He's gonna go in the air.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
god.
So Geef could do V-skill absorb versus this. However, Hot Dog could also just land in front of him and throw. Right? So there's counterplay both ways. And that's kind of how I think this matchup is. Where some of the stuff that Bison normally would do, you normally just, yeah, it's a cross-up, maybe, who knows. In this matchup, you have to have the extra layer of also throw. But that's fine. You can still just mix up. That's okay.
That is a blow up.
Fair and honest, baby. Got
Nice.
the stun as well. I think that's the 4th time I've seen Hot Dog do that setup this weekend. It's a guess. You have to guess left or right.
That D2 is a bigger blow up than the people that were canceled.
No one was able to guess right so far, so 100% hit rate with that mix-up right there.
I think there wasn't a cross-up. There was no sign, but so difficult.
Yeah,
He jumped.
Twice. He's doing a good job at neutral.
He jumped? I don't know about that. You know, Dictator doesn't have like a dedicated anti-air button. There's not like a Laura stand strong or Balrog, whatever. He does though have pretty decent anti-air. You know, in a hurried situation, it's not as easy for him to anti-air, but he has to pick between basically like crouching fierce and crouching jab. Oh, that's right, we saw crouching strong in the previous round as well. So Kichipamu did try to jump there as well. Anyway, he has these tools. You just have to be smart about which ones you choose.
Try and call out that slide from Hot Dog. You just press on the wrong button when it's coming down.
Look how patient Hot Dog is. So he goes in and he definitely takes a turn.
Oh, jump back medium. That's a new one. Wow!
Okay.
The double layer read.
Okay, that's cool. After you absorb down forward fierce, you do, so it depends on when you absorb down forward fierce. V-skill has a set number of frames that it lasts minimum. Set number. Do I have that here? I don't remember what it is. 26 frames. 25 frames? I don't know how to read that. Anyway, a little bit. So if you absorb in the like later portion of that, then you'll be able to recover faster, right? And that means that you can actually punish more stuff. Here he did not do that. Here this connects against like the beginning V-skill frames, yeah. So that means there's not a free punish. So after that, you know, mix up, right? Crouching strong if you expect them to jump away, crouching short maybe. If you expect them to jump away, maybe you just wait and do area X pile driver. Or if you think that they're going to stay still, you do ground pile driver. You're starting a mix up.
Wow! The double layer read.
Yeah, so here's the, okay, this is where it starts.
2-ply tissue paper.
I was going to say, here's where it starts, but Hot Dog does not care. He's smashing on that stand short. He's not afraid.
Goes for the SP. That's the first time we've seen it.
Yeah, the heavy version got Oki off this one as well.
Woo, boy.
He's not dead.
I like this too because Hot Dog's been very, very patient defensively. And he was there too. So Hot Dog, I mean, that would be my read if I were Kichipamu. I would read like Hot Dog is basically sitting still. I'd go for pile drivers. Kichipamu did that twice, which I think is really good, but then, you know, just didn't expect you should do the last one.
The suck right there, bringing him in close.
Doesn't even need it.
I wonder if this is like when he did V reversal into fierce. So this is -2. What is this? -3. Anyway, what that means obviously is that you can't just press Fierce and expect that your Fierce will beat whatever they're doing preemptively. It's more like you're hoping that the Fierce will whiff punish.
Bringing him in close.
Oh, see the range here.
Oh,
Got the suck right there, bringing him in close.
Okay.
Doesn't even
Okay.
on her in the face.
That makes sense to me. I'm gonna just start doing both of those things. I like it.
We mentioned earlier, or sorry, we mentioned yesterday too. This match is going to be about, you know, a battle of endurance, a battle of attrition here.
Okay, he did whiff a couple of times in previous matches. Just a couple, not many. And here he is in round number 3 of game number 1, already whiffing that Stand Fierce. And shout outs to Hot Dog for punishing it really well.
You know, a battle of endurance, a battle of attrition here.
That's really cool.
I feel like the longer the match goes on, there we go. The longer the match goes on, the better Kichipamu is going to be doing at this. If you're Hot Dog, you got to close it out.
He's had one of the longest streaks here in the losers bracket. So he's
this guy's an endurance fighter, man.
What are you?
Crush.
What? I wonder if that was on reaction. I mean, we've definitely seen like on reaction crouching jab. We've seen him do that a lot over this course of his top 8. But
this guy's an endurance fighter, man.
It looked to me like that's on reaction.
Yeah. This guy's an endurance fighter, man.
It looks to me like that's on reaction. Very interesting. Bison does pressure differently than many other characters. Bison's not, it's not like Laura where she'll do dash forward, crouching short jab. He does dash forward, stand jab. Stand jab is the like pressure starter. Stand strong pressure starter. And both of those will be absorbed by Stand Fierce. That is cool. So I'm learning stuff. This is cool, man. I kind of thought that it was mostly just him playing excellent footsies, and yeah, mostly it is. But there's some good stuff to learn from here as well. The armor starts on frame 3, by the way. Is EX SPD invincible on startup? It's only throw invincible. So if you expect to throw, then you can do it. Otherwise, negative.
Crushed. Yes, he wants the Oki.
Close enough, guaranteed to get that grab after that. Goes low, confirm.
Try to jump up, maybe.
Yeah, he has it, Antair. He has it.
Oh, nothing after it.
Oh, he dashed twice, but why?
Oh, no punish after it. It's flying back.
What happened?
Oh, nothing after it.
I don't know. That's
wake up buttons again.
confusing.
No punish though. Some characters can't punish that off the jump back. Oh
Scoop.
My God.
Light version.
That is a turn stolen, 100%. 100%. If it had been EX, he would have killed.
Oh
But that is a turn stolen. That's +1 right there.
Oh my God.
Light version not gonna die.
That's just like a hard read that he was going to do with something that was slow. Very cool. That's a hard read right there.
But he's definitely in disadvantage right now. That little jab, that crouch jab, that little poke right there.
Oh!
To start.
Oh, no, that was a mistake, but still alive.
Oh, no.
The slimmest of margins.
Yeah, couldn't get the scoop right there, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Even with the CA, you know, Zangief high health character, I'm not sure. Oh, that's one. Keeping up the CA, trying to keep the pressure
Oh,
going.
he still had it? Yeah, I feel like that was the end.
Going, okay.
Was there...
Keeping up the CA.
Wow, that was like the final frame of it. Oh my God.
What is the nastiness?
It's coming. He's going. He's
It?
going. Here it comes. He gets right. He
a reversal. That's the first time someone guessed right.
But
And
he's not dead though. Jump back,
jump
Mario
back,
kick,
yeah.
couldn't quite get it. Still though, any crouch jab, any poke from Kichipamu will kill.
And it's the
Hey.
the anti-air. They're both down to the
Oh
back.
no.
Full charge.
I'm like cringe. Oh boy, wow.
Solid special.
Another one.
Almost a sick comeback.
You're smart. You're loyal.
What did he crush counter there with down forward fierce? I don't know. Let's see. So it was about here that it started, I think.
Get the scoop right there, and now he's in
Maybe a
lot of
little
trouble.
later,
Even with the
but let's
CA, you
see.
know, Zangief high health character, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one.
Okay, so it
The
was.
CA, trying to keep the pressure
Oh, it
going.
was before
Okay,
that?
hold on. Even with yeah, couldn't get
Oh, that was a mistake.
right there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That little
So
jab,
let's
that
see.
Crouch jab, that little.
Stand strong. That's stand strong, man.
Oh!
To start.
Oh, he just was too far.
Yeah, couldn't get the scoop right there, and now he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
Even with the
exactly.
CA, Zangief high health character, I'm not sure. Oh, that's one.
Duo, yeah, Bison's like to steal turns, and I get it, man. I play Bison myself.
What is the nastiness?
You gotta steal those turns, right? Get more gray life. especially when you need a
Big
comeback.
reversal. That's the first time someone guessed right. And
Couldn't
he's
punish.
not.
He's not dead though. Jump
Oh,
back,
jump
Mario
back,
kick.
yeah.
Couldn't quite get it. Still though, any crouch up, any poke from Kichipamu will kill.
And it's no meter. The anti-air. They're both down to the magic face hole.
Full charge. Another one.
The DJ College
What's
special.
funny is that he was.
Another one.
Did he hold it here as if he could absorb anything? Because he would die. Yeah, he would definitely just have died if he was hit here because, I mean, they changed it. You don't have... You die if you lose life. If you armor things without the life to absorb it, you'll die. They changed that.
Another one.
It used to just be that you would survive.
Another one. You're smart. You're loyal.
He has been loyal to.
So, I don't know why he would do the charge fierce. Maybe to get frame advantage? But again, like...
Bashi Zangief is using Zangief anymore.
I don't know, man. One of those split-second things, maybe. I'd love to know.
There are unfortunately no Chinese players. We got Hong Kong against Japan, but the crowd is clearly on Kichipamu's side. They love him. He's been struggling to get here. The grappler player, too. The only Zangief.
No, the backdash into the SBT. Light one?
Light one. Yeah, from that range, you got to go for the light one. So, you know, it's still great.
Oof, wow. Only the fierce and it whiffed. Dang.
Duff, Sid.
But he did whiff another fierce.
Look how slow this match is. If you're a stream monster, if you got the ADD at home, you're like, come on, man, just press buttons. But this is not how it's going to go. It's going to be really slow.
Yeah, it should be slow. Oh, that was really good.
Armor. Into another light SBT.
Light one again, yeah. The mental exhaustion.
Dang, okay.
Air coming out from Hot Dog.
But he jumped again. So
Back throw again.
so we're seeing jumps and we're seeing whiffed fierces. That's not a great look. Even though he's up 1-0.
Oh, he's flexing.
I may know what happens already.
Slow down again. You see the neutral jumps coming out from this range from Kichipamu. He wants Hot Dog to slide. He's begging you, please try slide activate.
Oh, what does he get after this?
Entire activate. Spends 2 bars.
Is that it? Yeah.
Spends 2 bars there.
Nice.
The V-trigger.
Get after this?
Entire act. Please try slide activate.
Oh, what is
But he jumped, right? That's the reason he lost. How much life did he have here?
He's begging.
He had the life lead, actually. He had the life lead, and he jumped in. In fact, if you go earlier, when was the strong?
Got the ADD at home. You're like, come on, man, just press buttons. But this is not how it's going to go. It's going to be really slow.
No, the armor. Into another light SBT.
Light one again, yeah.
Okay, so he had, well, that much. I mean, that's 75%, maybe that's 80%.
Into another light SBT.
Light one again, yeah. The mental exhaustion is going to set in.
Wait, he did it twice?
The
Hold on.
armor.
Or did I just go back too far?
Light one again, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mental exhaustion's
So
gonna set in.
once.
Okay, air coming out from Hot Dog.
The corner.
Right, so this throw is because of the
Avail for both characters
jump. You have to
now.
think about it like that.
Oh, he's flexing.
Looking like Tokido out here. Slow down again.
Good defense. Again, I really feel like Hot Dog's defense is about defaulting to block versus Zangief. It's patience.
Kichipamu. He wants Hot Dog to slide. He's begging you, please try slide activate.
Oh, what does he get after this?
Entire activate. Spends 2 bars.
Yeah, I mean, half the damage that Kichipamu took from that round was because of jumping.
All right, Hot Dog.
Got it.
He's
That's
got
not
a few
good.
fans out there. This kid.
Oh, best anti-air damage? Oh, G is a good answer. G's a good answer. I don't know what would be better than G. Right? I think G is probably number 1 on that.
There's a kid standing next to us, a little Chinese boy. Hello, buddy.
Making sure we don't say anything wrong here in the grand finals.
We never say anything wrong.
Oh.
I like this from Kichipamu right now. So maybe he recognized, oh, I probably should quit jumping. And this round has been like a rock.
Hello, buddy.
Making sure we don't say anything wrong
Very
here in the grand
patient,
finals.
using absorbing,
Never say anything wrong.
Oh.
no jumping. He actually hasn't even walked past half stage.
Oh no, what punish?
He hasn't jumped, obviously.
Slow and steady. Kichipamu's used to this kind of matchup. Like,
This is when people say, right then he jumped. When people say that Bison has trouble in this matchup, I think that's the play they're talking about.
Kind of matchup. Like, he's playing this matchup his speed. He likes it.
The slow.
The jump, okay, well, it was whiffed and not a big deal, but that could have been bad.
6-piece combo from Hot Dog flex. Oh, that's gonna get punished. Sure.
Yeah. This is one thing I like about Dictator, though. He has, his fierce is big enough range that he can very often punish a pile driver with like a legit damage punish. Like you know, you just saw it, right? How close was he before this?
Hot dog flex.
Backdash. Not actually even that close. And he walks in and gets very easy fierce into flames into scissors punish.
Full combo.
Cool.
Taking momentum back on the side, activate while he can.
Wants the plus
Another
frames,
one.
gets it, and takes the
Heavy
light.
Yeah,
version.
he's done this like every time.
Even if he's far
Punish,
away,
there you
Okay,
go.
so
full
anyway,
combo.
watch how this goes.
Momentum back on the side, activate while he
Right,
can.
reset
Another one.
for sure. And maybe he's noticed now that there's a lot of just hanging out from Hot Dog. Again! Oh, that was it!
Stomp one. Yeah, it was wide.
That was pile driver.
Not tech after that.
Ah,
Did he die?
Enough to kill here.
Enough?
1-1.
Yes,
Yeah,
he does.
more than enough. He's got the Psycho Crush on deck too.
That crouching fierce was pile driver. Absolutely. Absolutely pile
Back on
driver.
the side, activate while he can.
Wants the plus
Another
frames,
one.
gets it, and takes the
Heavy
light.
version, we got Oki.
So he wanted the plus frames of the meaty V trigger, or I mentioned that you can do that. But I've also mentioned that Hot Dog's default is definitely slow play defensively.
Nothing into another one. Whoa.
That there's no reason you do point blank crouching fierce. No reason.
Elbow.
Stomp one. Yeah, it was wise right there from Hot Dog to not tech after that.
Yeah, and then he's
Ah,
trying to
got it.
jump
Kill here.
Enough?
1-1.
Yes.
against what he
More than
expected
enough.
was a
Psycho
command grab, and he got
Crush.
lit
1-1.
up.
A swig of
That sucks.
water.
Yeah, I remember him
About the
screwing up
war, 'cause
execution a couple of
We're already in
times.
enough trouble, but yeah, there was a CPT event last year.
I think he does like jump back
So,
fierce at
home-
one point too.
unfortunately
Like it's,
due to some issues. That is Hot Dog's hometown.
It is.
And
You
he did
know,
really
not
well.
ideal.
So actually, he performed really well. Unfortunately, he didn't get any points right there. I think that's second place.
The game would be one that
Yeah, but he could not get any points out there. So he feels like he got robbed, you know? Come on, my hometown, I couldn't get the points. But here we are, a few weeks later. He's hungry. Still has the advantage right there. Beautiful wait right there. Wait for the armor to end and go for the swipe.
Oh,
But here we are, a few weeks later.
ooh, wow, dash forward grab, huh?
Rob, you know? Come on, my hometown, I couldn't get the points. But here we are, a few weeks later.
I'm surprised not to see a reaction there. Dictator's dash is actually one of the slower ones in the game. It's just that it's invincible for part of it, but it is one of the slower. It's 22 or something.
Right there.
frames.
Beautiful wait right there. Wait for the armor to end and go for the swipe.
oh, headbutt.
Stand fierce. Stand fierce again. There's an arm on that move. There's an arm on the flex as well. So Buxton has really long range swipes like that. They're really strong, but they're one hit moves.
Oh boy. Okay, hey, I was just gonna talk about this. By the way, he did exactly what I've been talking about, which is that you hope to whiff. You're basically whiff punishing a button, wish punishing maybe,
Whoa,
right?
the secret
With a dash.
dash.
That's exactly what happened. But before that, the way he's playing here, although it's not a lot of life
Got
lost,
robbed, you know? Come on, my hometown, I couldn't get the points.
and it's subtle,
But here we are, a few weeks later.
it seems to me like he's a little on tilt.
Still
So
the
first of all,
advantage
no
right there.
reaction to the
Wait right there.
dash,
Wait for
something
the
he
armor
had
to end
had
and go for the
almost
swipe.
100% before that.
Oh, headbutt.
His buttons become a little needier.
Stand fierce again. There's
Some of
an
this
arm
is
on
not
that
an exact science, you know what I mean? But that's my feeling of it. Maybe that's colored by the fact that I know what's about to happen, but I feel like he's getting ahead of himself.
move. There's an arm on the flex as well.
Right? Getting hit by scissors, never
Really long
happen.
range swipes.
He's playing at this range where this is a scared range. This is a range of not being able to touch Dictator, but not being worried that Dictator will touch him, and just hoping that Bison will like run into stupid stuff. I feel like this is not
Really
a,
strong, but they're one-hit moves.
it's a scared spot. It is a scared spot.
Whoa,
No, he's right about the dash. This is really good.
Get in.
The slowest dashes in the game.
You're so scared though, right? You're so scared of the armor and the flex. You wait for him to go for one of those moves, and that's when you hold
Nice.
down back. When the fear's in your eyes,
Dude.
He's so ready.
that's when he can dash in. Yeah, the air-to-airs today have been on point for Hot Dog.
Oh,
Double
what a
dash in, good
throwback.
tech.
Although he did tech it rather than just doing crouching jab, which is what he's done before. Oh, or that reset. All right, what do you got?
It's hard for Buxton to make
There it was. That's what it was. Yeah, jump back fierce. So that's hard to recover from. At this point, you have missed 2 pile driver motions. This guy hits pile drivers in his sleep. You know, how many times has he done a 360? Thousands, right? Now in this moment in grand finals versus the guy who sent him to losers, he has had 2 execution errors and they're both pile driver. And that's hard. It's hard to recover mentally from that. It's also harder to recover in positioning. It would have worked.
does. Right? It's hard for Bison. Maybe not Street Fighter 5, but traditionally.
It would have worked, right? That fierce pile driver would have connected if he had just not screwed up the execution. So he goes from 200 plus damage plus dash up into frame advantage, right, for a mix-up, to nothing. To back to this scared spot.
Oh, was that a miss? That was really odd.
Yeah, he definitely wanted 360 right there.
And you can see how much more he's walking forward. Okay, reset. Again, Hot Dog's default is definitely to just block. It's definitely, if you're going to pile driver me, then so be it, right? That's how I tend to play against Zangiefs as well, to be honest. If you're going to do it, you know, more power to you. Kichipamu, if you recall at the beginning of this top 8, he made every right guess versus Tokido and Wei Li. Every right guess. And here he's not gotten the read on Hot Dog. I don't know.
Earlier, you know,
So
like a boot, you can duck those roundhouses.
I really think you got to chalk this up to nerves. I think y'all are right in the chat that this is him making it really far, grand finals. You know, by Z and Giuna's accounts, it was very hot in there too. So you see him like wiping his hands off constantly. That's just been hot. Oh, that's cool. Right. So again, Dictator can't do some of the normal stuff because of tools that Zangief has, like this. Anyway, I just feel like it's starting to slip away.
Yeah, no, Oki got him towards a corner there.
Testing the reactions.
Oh, is the stream down?
Tries to blow up the armor. Very nice. Armor.
Yeah, so I mean that trade was okay, but Kichipamu took more damage than he actually did right now.
Okay, cool. Weird. I don't know. Nothing seemed to change on my end.
Trigger still available. Activation.
Bummer. Anyway, nothing changed in the meanwhile. It's just this is happening.
More than enough.
Testing the reactions and Hot Dog able to escape. Tries to blow up the armor. Very.
So Bison. Bison has ways to blow up armor, like you see. Again, I don't think it's. I think it's a win for Zangief, but I just think it's very slight.
Took more damage than he actually did right there. Hot Dog. It's all gone too. Trigger still available. Activation.
Oh
my God, you did.
Wow.
Yeah,
every time. I feel like that is all the time.
Hot Dog popping off a little bit. Kichipamu looking stressed. You've had a miracle run, kid. Is it over now? What do you have left in your tank?
See him getting some water. He's got this like cartoonish expression on his face. Right? That's like what you would animate a cartoon character to look like if he's stressed out. Poor guy. It's hot. He's in grand finals.
Hot Dog sitting pretty right now.
Man.
Whoa.
Okay, so check on the dash. Jab,
what? Oh, I understand.
Jab, SPD.
So like I said, oh, whatever. It's too far.
He took a good chunk of damage right there. Right? Hot Dog has good timing on how long he wants to hold the flex.
Look at this. I mean, look, I'm talking about Kichipamu, I think, kind of, you know, losing it a little bit, but at the same time, Hot Dog's playing this so well. The range where he's standing is just perfect. He attacks at all these excellent times. He has had jump strong as a reaction to jumps. He's pressured well. He's made the right decisions offensively. Defensively, he continues to make the right decisions. He's killing it.
You're seeing a lot less buttons coming out from Kichipamu now. He's starting to feel the pressure.
He's dashing in there with the surprise throws. Good breaks from Kichipamu.
Yeah, I like how he's dashing in instead of sliding. He stopped that kind of slide in neutral that we saw earlier. Kichipamu was showing he's willing to neutral jump.
He whiffed a fierce, man.
Like stack dash.
I don't know. Wow, he got hit? What was the thing? Throw attack, maybe? It looks like stand strong, actually, startup. Why would he be doing that?
Like stack dash.
Because that whatever it was on reaction. Or it should have been, anyway. I mean, if he wasn't reacting to that, then he's definitely not playing great.
The white life's gone. That's the thing about the flex, right? That's when it works out.
That's what you want.
When it's worth doing. When you can get the SPD after that. Get the Oki going.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, okay, maybe he's noticed now that Hot Dog tends to sit still. Dude, if he had just gone for a meaty pile driver. Alright, well.
Oh, activation!
Unable to get anything on that punish, but still able to safely activate. Kichipamu cornered again as we swipe. Like Xeon Grinder.
That was a good
joke.
It really shut Z down, by the way.
Command grab, saw the
Dang.
cross up.
Can we talk about... Alright. This
Yeah, see, it's
is
coming.
over,
Which
right?
way?
Yeah.
Hey, that
God.
is cheap.
We talk about this absolute galaxy brain move. That right there. Dang, he specifically expected a V skill absorb. Unless there's some tech here that I don't know, because on block, no. On hit, yes. Is he just a genius? Maybe. Unless there's some way to just do this option selecty. I don't know. Not that I know of. It's not Mortal Kombat. It's not hit or block option select. I mean, assuming it's just a cool mix-up, then that's great, because he expected the V skill. I mean, could he have reacted to it? Maybe. I just was questioning it. Yeah. Could be. Maybe it's just a straight-up hit confirm.
That white light is building. Command grab.
Could
Saw
be.
the armor. Cancel command. Cross up. Yup. Yeah, see, it's coming. Which way?
Oh
hey,
my
that
God.
is cheap.
That's cool.
actually,
Hey,
oh
What happened before that?
yeah, see, it's coming. Which
Right.
way?
Okay. So the crouching roundhouse is an attempted V reversal,
my,
Hey,
oh
that
but
is
Hot Dog wasn't
cheap.
there.
That's actually disgusting. That should be censored with the filter and the mosaic.
We gotta bring him.
This is over.
Again, but it is now tournament point for Talon Hot Dog from Hong Kong. Amazing.
Like, there's not many characters that can walk into and out of Geef's attacking range. No, that can walk into and out of their own attacking range without Geef being able to, like, range it himself. That's what Bison's Fierce does. See what I mean? Like, okay, that was good. Hey, that's a good jump. Good mix up. But Bison gets to press stand Fierce at a range where Geef himself, like, can't really. He can do charge Fierce, but other than that, not really. Anyway, this. Oh no! I forgot about that one. Oh, I was just about to talk him up. This is such a good round that you can hopefully help to, like, get your head back in the game.
Wow, that's
Stun. Oh no.
Oh
Oh.
my God, what is that?
Oh.
His
showing
lube ran
mercy.
out.
Is
His
he
lube
showing
ran
mercy?
out. No. The lube is gone. He keeps dropping SPD inputs. What's going on?
He's got to reapply the lube.
That was a huge drop. And then we saw Hot Dog make a
Huge
comeback
drop.
in the last round. He's got a chance again. He should be dead.
Right, in the backdash. Oh my God.
Oh, did he end up taking this round? Oh no.
Matching pixel.
Okay,
The
okay,
back
okay.
grab
Wow.
delayed.
That.
Yeah, he ran up to
So even though he comes ahead, takes that round, dude, I still have to think that that round is also a sign that he's cracking.
SPD, faster recovery. So if Hot Dog did jump, he could recover. So Kichipamu staying alive one more round, but it is still tournament point here for Hot Dog.
Oh, flash, but the
No,
honor
man.
blew up.
Yeah,
And
and
out
he
of
took
hit.
white life too. A lot of damage right here. Spend the bar on the V reversal.
Okay, well there you go. There's the downside. This is the same tech that we've seen him do.
Blew up.
Yeah,
And
and
out
V
of hit.
reversal
a lot of damage
into
right here.
Fierce.
Spend the bar.
However, this time Bison backdashes and whiff punishes it. But the other thing that's different is that when we saw him do it before, he had the corner.
The V
Now
reversal.
he's in the corner.
Punish.
Kichipamu,
Oh,
you are in trouble, my man.
he's cornered on this match point. Very critical for him.
Hot Dog is on
Safe on
lockdown.
Again? Oh my god.
Not like this. Not like this, Kichipamu. Your run can't end like this. Oh, and that's it with
the
the perfect.
perfect.
He pops off
He's
on the
popping
stage.
up, and he's still on the chair.
Hot Dog, let's go. My man has
Drops
been
down to his
yeah.
knees.
He's been a gargoyle. He hasn't shown
You know,
emotion.
for most
Very,
of this
very
top
focused,
8,
but once he wins, once it's over, the emotion comes out.
Kichipamu made, like, every right choice. He
Up to the sky.
adapted instantly. That is to say, like, he knew the set of possible mix-ups. And he instantly knew which one was the right one at the beginning and then at the end. And where he was too predictable, the second time the situation came up, he changed. He went to the other side of things. We saw that time and again. I mean, I guess Tokido and Wei Li didn't even... There wasn't even counterplay required, right? He just was right every time. Versus Mago, some counterplay was required, and he did it. In this match, he did not. In this match, he did not. And there's, I would say, like, not much better of a way to just show that than just end right here.
Your run can't end like this. Oh, and that's it.
Then at the end of that round where he did V reversal and then Fierce twice. Did he? Yeah. in the first 2-3 sets that he played, I don't think that he did anything the same twice in a row. Unless it was like a successful mix-up, which did happen a couple times. But in terms of that kind of thing, I don't think he ever did. And each time that happened, Hot Dog backdashed and got the whiff punish. And the second time he got it for credible damage. Good stuff. So I really think the end here is about Kichipamu cracking. Getting into grand finals, beating a lot of great players, and then just kind of succumbing to the moment. That's not easy to play in a moment like that. It's hard. It's not just about the crowd there. It's about knowing that you can get the culmination of your training is right there. It's so close. And if you win, you get a lot of money. You get, maybe your team sends you around to more events. You pay off your car, whatever, right? I mean, there's like stuff, and on top of that, the pride of it, the feeling of, wow, I put so much time in, finally, like I won a premiere, I beat all these good players. That, having that so close to you is like maddening in a way. And some people crack at least the first time. I hope in the future it won't be like that for him. For most people, once they become more accustomed to it, they get over it. There are some people who that's just always a problem. They never get over it. I hope that won't be the case for him, but it definitely did happen here. It's a good point, too, that he had to play through losers in top 8, and that takes more time. It's more matches, of course, and that is exhausting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, ending was kind of a blow up, but he got there, and that's very impressive. So I had a blast watching him, and I feel like I learned some stuff. I'm pretty much just playing Honda nowadays, to be honest. But I haven't played Zangief or Dalsum ever since Honda came out. But maybe I should get back into it because I feel like this is cool. It's cool. I tend to play V-Trigger too, Zangief. But I like how he uses V-Trigger, and maybe I'll try that. And I like the idea of V-Reversal into slow long range button. That's cool. All right.